Hey guys, welcome back. This is season 3 of the account, Relic Skies. I love these intros. I get to do my morning radio NPR voice. This is really when the stories start to pick up. The production quality is really increasing, and I think he really steps into his own writing-wise. We start to have the inclusion of some occult and some literature and some mythology, and I think just overall the show quality is really starting to increase, as is the length. And as always, this was created by Cayenne Chris Conroy as part of the Tech Diff podcast. Chris does a little outro at the end of the last episode, so stick around if you want to see that. And you can find all of his contact information below in the video description. Without further ado, Season 3 of the account, Relic Skies. Oh, and one last thing. The intro is very high energy and loud. Adjust your volume accordingly. Or if you want to skip it, go to the 4-minute mark. You won't miss anything important. Okay, enjoy.
Good morning, surf students, mad scientists, and all you techno geeks all across our fair city. It's another gorgeous day here in the Berg of Tomorrow. Good morning, Baylor! That's right, it's your morning cup of audio Java, and I am your humble barrister. That's right, it's me, Dokes, hauling your lazy, mangled, hungover keisters all the way until noon. Yes, I do say hungover. I know that for a fact because I was right there last night. I was a witness to the accident, and I have to say something. I really do. All seriousness. I think I can safely report that entirely too many of you are lightweights. Lightweights. In fact, calling you that is almost an insult to something as useful as light. What is this generation coming to when we can't drink more than 4 drinks at a time and not fall on the floor in a puddle of sick? I swear to heaven above, I saw more collateral damage being shifted out of that club last night as I've seen in... well, sin ever, really. It's enough to make you sob into your lager. It really, really is. Now, I know, it's exam time and all, and you people are probably a little bit out of shape, but seriously, come on, people! We have a reputation to uphold. This is a party town. I'm just ashamed. I weep for us all. Now, I think you've been properly chastised enough, so I shall taunt you no further. Let's get this show on the road, right, Buffins? I've got music, I've got news, I've got weather, I've got music, I got the schedule for the hottest clubs and the hottest shows this night and every night, and, did I mention I've got music? I did? Hang on, did I? Well, hang on, yes, I did! We've got music! And here's some right now, so cuddle up with your favourite hangover portion of the hair of whatever took the bite out of you last night, and keep it tuned right here to the voice of the future. You are listening to Baylor 1.
Baylor 1.
Welcome back to the land of the living. Hope you didn't mind the radio waking you up there, but that's the first sign of civilization we've had in quite a while.
Turvey, is that you? They said to go into the light. Am I here? Am I here?
Oh, for God's friggin' sake, you don't have to be so melodramatic about it. There's coffee in the thermos.
Is there? Then they did take me into heaven. Yay, me.
Yeah. Pour me a cup, too, while you're at it. Don't skimp on the amaretto, Sir Phillips. I'm an old man. I need my sustenance.
Right. One for me, too, please, Hanover.
When do you ever need coffee after sleeping, Nero?
Well, never, of course. I just like the wired part.
Oh, you goblins with your lives on the ragged edge of disaster.
Oh, you humans with your soft, pillowy existences.
That's me.
So, is that civilization I hear on the radio?
Yep, Baylor 1, the voice of the future.
So, are we there yet?
Well, I just picked up the signal loud and clear, so probably about an hour out.
Oh, man, that long? Really? You should be happy about that, Hanover. It'll give us a chance to properly clean up. We have been sleeping on a bus for hours now.
Well, if you don't mind my saying so, you are going to be going to the geek capital of the world. I don't think they'll notice if you're a bit disheveled and smelly.
I'll notice, and besides, I'm a squire. It's my job to look after the welfare of Sir Knight here.
And besides that, you're totally behind the times, Turvey. Am I?
The last I heard, not being up on the latest fashions and trends was considered a misdemeanor, never mind being cleaned up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. You know, Turvey, I've been meaning to mention this. For someone who travels as much as you do, you don't see much of the world out from behind the driver's seat of this bus, do you?
Well, I don't like to walk much. What can I tell you? All right, enough.
Don't like what the kids are dancing to these days?
I'm an old man. What can I say? Nah, give me house music or nothing.
We'll get off your lawn now, Turvey. Come on, Hanover, let's clean you up. Do I get a sponge bath? Only if you're good. What do I get if I'm bad? An intimate cleaning with cold water and a bar of lava soap. Don't even joke about that. I think there's treaties against stuff like that. Well, then be good and we both stay out of trouble.
So, an hour out, huh?
Yes, this trip is taking a lot longer than it should, isn't it?
We got caught in that dream snare at the rest stop yesterday. I thought that was going to account for why we were on the road for so long, but it doesn't.
The road's pushing Baylor away from other civilized areas.
Mm-hmm. Possibly to protect them from something bad.
Ave Nova.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, all I know is the documentation we found in Waterford leads us here next.
That's 20-year-old information, though, Hanover.
That worries me even more, to be honest. I mean, look, Metadyne got infected because it bought something, some property that had legally been infected by the Ave Nova Corporation. How many companies in Baylor were listed in that flyer we found in Waterford?
I don't know, a dozen or so?
Yeah, and 20 years is like a century in corporate culture, and who knows how many times these companies have been changing hands all over the place. If Ave Nova is infecting other corporations, it could be all over this town.
Yes, that's true. So why is it happening now?
Oh, who knows? I mean, it's probably just laying in wait for its moment to strike. It was waiting for something to happen to trigger it all.
So in all likelihood, this isn't just affecting Metadyne, is it?
Yes, and that means if there's other corporations involved, they're going to be sending out their knights and agents too.
Well, that's good, isn't it? I mean, this problem is practically all over the Midlands. Can't we use all the help we can get?
From a rival corporation?
Oh, you're not seriously telling me we're going to be dealing with corporate espionage on top of everything else?
Yep, it's Knights of the Round meets James Bond until further notice.
Now my head hurts.
So you want the shower first or me?
You go ahead. I'm finally picking up some decent phone reception. I want to make a few calls.
To who?
To Private It's None of Your Business Incorporated.
My apologies.
Accepted, but if you must know, it's actually just to my family and to pick up a few resources. I want to be as ready for what's ahead of us as it's going to be for us.
I'm not sure we can get that ready.
Oh, quit stinking up the joint and shower already, will you?
All right. Technical Difficulties presents The Account, A Tale of the Waking World. Relic Skies, Part 1. So you two got all your stuff then? I don't really want to be finding your crap under the seats later when I have to clean this thing.
Yes, I think we've got all our stuff. Thanks, Turvey.
I
I think I may have left my lingerie collection behind. If you find it, feel free to sell it on eBay.
You told me you slept naked.
I do. They've never been used. You should fetch a pretty good price then.
Well, there you go. Extra income for you, Turvey.
Thanks, I'll keep that in mind. I tell you two to stay out of trouble, but I'll be wasting my breath. So long.
So long, Turvey. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the trip.
Bye.
He's really sweet.
Yeah, I suppose.
How long before you think we'll see him again?
Well, he's obviously keeping tabs on us, so probably the next bus out of here.
So who do you think he's working for? Metadyne?
After all the BS we put him through, I hope so. Otherwise, there's going to be serious payback time at some point.
So, Sir Phillips, here we are.
Yep.
Baylor.
Baylor. Baylor!
I just showered. Please don't get geek all over me.
Hey, cut me some slack. I'm a guy, all right? I like my tech toys, and this is one of the tech toy capitals of the world.
A fact I can appreciate in spite of my gender. It's just that we're here for a mission, not to window shop. Remember that.
This place is known for fashion, gadgets, and nightlife, and you're not excited?
No, which is a bald-faced lie, but I have a better poker face about it than you do.
As long as we're on the same page. All right, then. Task number 1, find a place to stay. Task number 2...
Task number 2 would be not to strain ourselves by thinking too far ahead.
All right, so planning's not my strong suit. I've learned to accept that about myself. Why can't you?
I know I have to learn to live with my prejudices day by day. And for your information, we have a place to stay.
We do?
While you were in the shower, I booked a room at a hotel.
Sweet!
Now, before we go any further, I'd like to break in and mention something.
Like?
Unlike the accommodations at the bed and breakfast in Waterford, this is the first time as a partnership we've been booked into a dyed-in-the-wool hotel.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here and suggest that perhaps during the course of our partnership, you've entertained all kinds of, I don't know, fantasies.
Fantasies?
Yes, fantasies, such as, us being inadvertently booked into the same hotel room, having to share digs, having to share each other's intimate space, giving you all kinds of opportunities to do things like, ogle my naked body as I step glistening from the shower, or as I'm changing in and out of my underwear. Am I right in thinking that thoughts like that may have crossed your mind?
Well, goblins are really good at telling when people are lying, so I'll just say I can dream, can't I?
Yes. Well, let me put that thought to rest by saying, congratulations, dreams do come true. Your company was too cheap to book us in anything other than a double.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, actually, now that I think about it, that isn't very surprising.
Yes, and it's a Blue Lantern budget inn, so it isn't exactly the nicest place in town.
Does it at least have a decent continental breakfast?
This is me we're talking about here. That was my first consideration.
I promise I'll give you all of the privacy you need.
Oh,
so
please. Anybody who knows me more than 3 days ends up seeing me naked. I'm a goblin. Practicality always trumps modesty.
What? This is the best job ever.
I'll bet it is for you. I'm the one doing all the work. Now get your bags. We gotta walk about 6 blocks to get to this place.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's see, 6:17, 6:19, 6:21. Here we go.
Home away from home. Well, this isn't all that.
Roomy.
All right, it's cozy, but at least it's clean.
I take it you want dibs on the dresser?
Why? Because I'm a girl? I've only got the knapsack, you know.
That's a designer knapsack of holding, and you've got like 8 changes of clothes in there. You told me yourself. I've only got like the 2 in my duffel bag. I can live out of it.
I've been on the road longer than you, and a girl needs her style, thank you very much. So since you offered, I'll take the dresser.
Works for me. I'll put mine on the suitcase
What?
There's a box here, and it's addressed to me.
It's not very big. Who's it from?
Doesn't say.
Would you mind giving that a once-over? Don't have to ask me twice. Let me see it.
Here.
Simple cardboard box. Don't sense anything dangerous, but that's easy enough to mask.
What do you smell?
Cardboard. What would I do without you? Oh, you'd probably just be dead in a ditch by the side of the road on fire in the rain or something.
Hey, give me some credit. I did make it till before I met you.
Well, then count your lucky stars you did. You were probably due for a gruesome death by now. I don't see anything wrong with it.
Well, in that case, we better open it.
All right.
And just get the thing here.
What's happening? What's happening? I don't know. I just tried to open it. It started screaming at me.
Well, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. I just tried to open it. You said there was nothing wrong with it.
Well, I was wrong, clearly. Now what do we do?
I don't know. Throw it out the window.
Oh, this is the hotel room. Windows don't open.
Then grab a chair and smash it.
I'm not going to smash it. Wait. Hold it.
What?
That's your ringtone.
Oh, yeah. I changed it to that because I thought it'd be clever.
You just answer that.
I'll just answer that. Hello.
Phillips, there you are. You rediscovered the telephone and answered it. Welcome back to the modern age.
Hello, Mr. Rayburn. It's good to hear from you.
Oh, really? Well, based on the amount of communication you give my office, it's actually a little bit hard to believe that.
Yeah, about that. It's just we got a little tied up yesterday, and we haven't had time.
Well, you needn't tell me anything about it. Spare me the details because I can read all about them in your latest report that I have in front of me, and I can't help but notice is over a week old.
Yes, well, about
and
that.
Since you were supposed to file daily progress reports on your quest, that does sort of defeat the purpose if you only send them to me every 7 days
Look,
or so.
sorry, Mr. Rayburn. We ran into a snag while we were on the road.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
We got caught in a dream.
Sorry, can't make it out.
Wait,
no.
look,
No,
sir.
Phillips, you're breaking up. I'm afraid this.
Sir,
this
what
line is absolutely terrible.
Well, this was, sir. There was a big
No,
problem.
Sorry, still not getting through.
I'm very sorry about missing the report, sir. I'll get right on it, and I won't let it happen again.
There, the connection's much better now. Heard that loud and clear, and I look forward to reading your report.
Hooray.
3 cheers indeed. So tell me, have you gotten a look at my package? And don't turn that into a double entendre, no matter how tempting it might be.
Sorry? The box?
Oh, yeah, honestly.
Yeah, we got that, sir.
Oh, good. And might I say, Miss Guillaume, it's good to see you're still working for the company and acting as the brains of the outfit on your end.
I try to do my level best, sir.
You certainly do, Miss Guillaume, and you'll be happy to know that the box shipped to you as per your request contains photo stats made from the microfiche of our accounting department for the last 50 years' worth of business dealings. That way, the Ave Nova bugaboo that's currently running through a digital system wouldn't have a chance to corrupt it. Thus ensuring any truth contained therein would not be obfuscated in any way by our supernatural enemy. Bravo and brilliant foresight on your part, Miss Guillaume.
Well, thank you, sir. It's just that, I didn't make any request like that.
You didn't?
No.
Well, who did then?
Check the bottom of the form, sir.
What? Let me see this. Archive retrieval information requested by Sir Hanover Phillips. Well, even a broken clock can be right once a day if it's on military time.
The other nice thing about a broken clock, too, is that it doesn't expect an apology when it's been insulted to its face continuously for the last few minutes.
We're sorry.
That's more like it.
Now, you said you had a list of businesses from 20 years ago that were in and around Baylor that Ave Nova was involved with, didn't you?
Yeah, we have it right here.
Good. You should be able to cross-index the information that you have with the information that we've sent you. And whatever you do, don't use your laptop to do it. We can't risk that information getting back into a corrupted system.
Right.
You have updated your laptop recently, haven't you?
Well, actually,
For God's sakes, Phillips, we sent you expensive equipment. Please use it.
I just haven't had an opportunity to turn it back on in a few days,
Don't
sir.
turn it off, then. Just leave it running. It updates automatically via the internet.
I don't like leaving it on, sir. It creeps me out. I hate to side against management, sir, but he has got a point. That laptop can be quite unnerving.
Well, tough Dutch. How do you think we feel on this end? We have to look this thing in the eye every single day.
Well, yes.
And believe you me, that's one unpleasant eye.
All right. Nero, hand me my laptop. Do I have to touch it? It feels clammy. Just give me the laptop. Oh, all right, here.
Now, for the love of God, let that thing update. You need the most current information.
Right.
And when you're done with that, I want you to fill out the entire report and tell me everything you've been doing for the last few days. We need that information updated.
Yes, sir. I'll get right on that right
And
away.
get to work on the cross-indexing. And when you're done with that, I want you to go over to the research and development facility that Metadyne has set up there in Baylor.
Why? What am I...
There's a professor there named McCork. He works in the geostationary satellite division, and he helps train a lot of our students in meta-astrophysics, which is his field of expertise. He has a doctorate in it.
Okay.
He might be able to answer any questions you have concerning angels.
Okay, sir. I've got it.
Good. Get to work. That's what we're paying you to do, Sir Phillips.
Yes.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go down to the shipping department and see how the exorcists are doing. Goodbye.
Bye. Well, it is a job, you know. Yeah, but it didn't feel like it sucked until just now. Need me to do anything? No, I think I can handle all of this. Why? I have to go meet someone. You know people in Baylor? I know people everywhere. I get out of the house more often than you do. I have a studio apartment. It's barely a house. Principle still applies, but if you must know, I'm picking up a package that I asked my family to deliver for me. Is it a care package? Are there cookies involved? Can I have some? I'm going out now. Please bring me back cookies. I'll bring you back cookies. Jeez. I like cookies. Okay. Turn on the laptop. I hate that thing. Half hour late. I'm going to have a serious word with my family about the tardiness of the couriers. Honestly, I'm supposed to get anything done around here. Oh, no. No way! Dude! Jenkin, I can't believe it's you. I haven't seen you in forever. How are you? Jenkin, ribs! Oh, that's gonna look great on a medical report. Bear hug from an ogre.
Dude!
What?
Is your back bandaged?
Yes.
What happened?
Nothing you should worry about. Just got into a few scrapes. You know how a girl's life can be.
Is this why you called in for the resupply? Because if someone's out to do you bodily disservice, I can kick their ass. No charge.
No specific asses need boot prints at the moment, but thanks for the offer. I always appreciate it. My job just took a little escalation on the physical front, so I just thought I'd dial in for a few new weapons with a bit more punch to them. You know, just to be on the safe side. So, do you have a present for me or what?
Do I? Check this out, dude.
Can't wait. Oh my God. Are these...
You know it. Dude, meet the triplets.
Oh my... These are legacy blades. Are these brand new?
You know it. Custom R63 rondels, triple strength, and balance for your style rating.
They're perfect.
Your mom had them made up for you. Special.
I can't believe... When was this? I don't remember.
I think they were supposed to be a birthday present. But since you asked for an upgrade now, she said bring them along. Happy birthday, dude.
Thanks. Oh, now I'm going to have to send her one of those handwritten thank you cards. Oh, do these have names?
Oh, yeah. This one is Manic Depression. Sympathy metal. So pop an element cartridge in the pommel, twist to crack it, and boom! Fire blade, ice blade, anything you want.
Awesome.
There's a sampler pack in the case, and the scabbard holds 3 at the ready.
So cool. How long does it hold a charge for?
Up to 15 minutes, depending on the quality of the cart.
15 minutes? That's top rated. Oh, man. So, what's number 2?
Number 2 is Red House. Standard combat knife. But it's also a blood scent. Tag someone, it'll give you a location of their whereabouts up to 1 kilometer. Good for 4 days, regardless of species.
Nasty nice. What's number 3?
Midnight Lamp.
Ooh, sounds evil in all the best ways. What does it do?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Yet. It's a persona blade. Your actions determine its development. Clean slate.
Red House, Killing Floor, and Midnight Lamp, huh? Looks like her Jimi Hendrix fixation is still in full swing. Jesus, these must have cost her a fortune.
Yeah, well, your mom said since you were going to wait to have kids, she wanted you to get a legacy of your own going ASAP.
Well, there you go, the Guillaume clan practical side. If you can't settle down, shake things up. And boy, am I going to shake things up at my job with these. Ooh.
So, she says you took a job with the corporation?
That's about the size of it, Jenkin. You're looking at Metadyne Corporation's newest and most beautiful squire.
A squire?
What?
Dude, that's scut work.
It is not scut work. It's honest work. It's certainly more honest than some of the other summer jobs I've had, believe you me.
You're a friggin' PA.
I am not a PA. I do a lot more than paperwork. I'm a detective and a bodyguard half the time. You know, I'll have you know this job is pretty full contact, hence the upgrade to the weapons I requested. I mean, I can't go into it too much, but this is as serious action as I've ever seen.
Is that why you have the bandages?
Well, we got into a scrape about a week back, and I ran afoul of something kind of nasty. It's not really anything...
Does D-bag do something?
He is not a D-bag. He's actually quite heroic when you get to know him. And yes, we ran into trouble, and yes, I got got a little hurt, but it wasn't because he was being reckless with me. Already was being a little bit reckless, but he wouldn't put me in any danger. He wouldn't put himself in.
What happened?
I can't really talk about it. And don't worry, I'm not being needlessly or recklessly endangered by my employers. Thanks.
Better not be lying to me.
Jenkin, you know me well enough to know that I never lie when I can brag, and right now I'm a big old box of brag.
Good.
Well, at least it's brag as much as I can.
So you can't talk about it?
Not with you, no. Look, there's a certain amount of non-disclosure stuff I have to deal with, because
That's just great.
Look, what do you want from me? This is my job, all right? I mean, I have a lot of responsibility here. The secrets, the safety concerns for my employer and for the knight I'm working with. I can't just talk about things.
But it helps if you told me something about it.
Jenk, we've had this conversation before, all right? I am under no obligation to disclose every aspect of my life to you.
Whatever. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine. But if this guy does anything, I will beat the snot out of him.
Look, I appreciate the chivalry, all right? But I do not need your protection, not physically, not emotionally, and certainly not about this guy.
Where's he from?
He's a human from the Earth.
The Earth?
Yes, the Earth, and he meets all of the criteria of a knight. He is noble, and he is... God damn it, I knew you were going to be like this. They told me you transferred to the clan office here 6 months ago. And I knew when I came here and I put in this request that you were going to be the one to make the delivery, and this topic of conversation was going to come up, and then I knew exactly what you were going to wind up thinking.
Oh, you have no idea what I'm thinking.
Really? Actually, you know, I think I do have a pretty good idea of what you're thinking. Because as I recall, we both have a vested interest in the Earth. And that little attitude difference we have in our relation to that place, that came between us once before. Or did you forget that?
Whatever, dude. I'm a courier. You got your package. I'm done here. See ya.
Jenkin, wait, come on. Come on, please. Look, I don't really want to leave on a bad note after we haven't seen each other for so long. I'm sorry.
Say hi to your boyfriend.
He is not my boyfriend! Shit. And everything was going so well today, too. Well, triplets, what say I take you out for a drink? A nice, strong drink.
Phillips Possessed Computer Repair. Hello, surfers.
Not in any mood, thanks.
What's the matter? You didn't get your package? Please tell me the cookies are safe.
I got what I came for, don't worry. I just had a run-in with an old acquaintance of mine, and it didn't go very well. We've got a history.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So, what's up? Do you need anything?
Yes, a drink, and I'm going to get one right now at a bar I know about 3 blocks from here. I'm going to send you the coordinates. Why don't you meet me there when you're done at the hotel?
I am sort of done at the hotel. I'll meet you there from where I am now.
Where are you now?
I'm over at Metadyne's research lab. The computer said it was going to take about 2 hours to update completely, so I thought I'd use that time more wisely. Well, I can see why you can't do the report because the computer's updating, but why didn't you do the cross-indexing?
Well, I was going to do that in the hotel room, but as it turns out, if you've got a laptop that's been infected with angelic power, as it updates via the internet, it makes strange, squishy, gobbling noises.
Ooh, distracting.
Exactly. I've got the paperwork on me, and I'm right outside Professor McCork's lab, so why don't you text me the address of the bar? I'll show up there when I'm done here, and we can go over this stuff together.
Sounds good, and I've got my shiny, sharp new toys to show you.
I expect to be impressed. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. All right, then. Excuse me? Yes, sorry to bother you. I'm looking for Professor McCork.
Professor McCork's a bit busy right now, if you must know.
Well, do you know where I can find him? I kind of need to talk to him.
Well, I'm afraid it may be some time. He's currently preoccupied, trapped as he is in a freezing cold laboratory in a building that never gets any bloody sunshine, going through stacks and stacks of research papers provided to him by his student assistants, who couldn't get the most cloth-eared pieces of information correct if somebody shoved a bloody gun up their nose.
You must be Professor McCork. Hello, my name is Hanover Phillips. Is this a good time to talk?
This is about as far from a good time to talk as it can possibly be without both of us actually being on fire.
Well, sorry, but I work for the head office at Metadyne. They told me I needed to come to you to have some questions answered.
Well, Rayburn told me that it was a knight coming to see me.
Yes, that's me. Sir Hanover Phillips, questing knight, Metadyne Corporation.
You're a knight.
This shocks you?
Well, forgive me for saying so, but when I think about the courtly servants of noble causes, I don't tend to associate them with a man wearing trainers, a denim jacket, and a t-shirt that says meh.
I'm very progressive.
Well, congratulations then, Sir Phillips. You've just won yourself several moments of my unbelievably divided attention.
Thanks. Do you have any information about an organization called Ave Nova? They seem to have a bunch of research facilities, or at least they were associated with them here in Baylor about 20 years ago. I've only lived in Baylor for 12 years myself. Yeah, but you've been doing research here that whole time. I was just wondering if the name ever came up in association with any sort of projects or any sort of developments of technology or anything. Look, I deal in meta-astrophysics, all right, and geostationary satellites. All right? I don't get out that much. You know, this is something you could find in records or research, so why bother me with it? Because the Ave Nova Corporation seems to be deeply connected with angels. And I was told that was your field of expertise? Angels. Well, that's a bit different, isn't it? So, can you help me? Well, that depends entirely on what kind of help you need. How familiar are you with the Celestials? I've encountered them firsthand. I don't think so. If you had encountered an angel, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Or at best, we'd be having it with you in a straitjacket. Well, you're the expert, but believe me when I tell you I've seen some things you wouldn't believe. Shadows and echoes, no doubt. If the stories are to be trusted, and I have no reason to doubt them, if you encountered a real Celestial, you'd be more scarred than you could possibly imagine. So you've never encountered them yourself? Not as such, no. But I've seen what they've left in their wake, and that's enough. So, what can I help you with? Well, let's start simple. What are angels, anyway? Simple. Well, why didn't you just kick off with the meaning of life as your first question? Humor me. What do you know about Earth? Plenty. It's my home turf. Really? You're an Earthling. Well, at least then I don't have to give you a long history lesson. What do you know about Earth in relation to the angels themselves? Other than that's where people say they come from, not much. Ah, well, come from the Earth might be a bit of a stretch. Come through the Earth, definitely. How do you mean? Well, when any world reaches a certain level of civilization, the road connects to it. No one knows why exactly. One of the great unsolved mysteries of the universe. Still, it's things like that that keep people like me in business. But the Earth is a verge world. It's the boondocks, the outer reaches, the frontier. The road doesn't go anywhere from there, it only comes back to the Midlands. But as you know, it's not the only way to travel. Do you know all the different ways of getting from place to place? Yeah, there's the road, the river, the jet stream, the underground, and the ocean. All connection points that take you from world to world. But all those worlds have one thing in common. They all sit in space. People tend not to think about space very much. I mean, you don't need a spaceship to travel from world to world, do you? All you need is a mode of transportation and time. Most people look up at the sky on a dark night and see the stars and think, I wonder what worlds are out there orbiting their little suns. I wonder if the road goes to any of them. I wonder if I'll ever go there. I look up and think, that's an awful lot of darkness. I wonder if anything lives out there. So the angels come from the stars. If only. I think they come from the gulf between. The void. Not exactly what you think of when you think of heaven, is it? So if there's space surrounding every world, why do they only come in from the Earth? Don't know. Another mystery to keep me in rent money, I suppose. Lucky you. There is one thing that worries me, though. Celestials are one of the few beings that are able to travel in pacts. What, you mean like wolves or something? No, pacts. Binding legal agreements, promises, contracts. All you have to do is sign a piece of paper without reading it too carefully or even shake hands on a promise and you've let them in. Somehow, we don't know how, they're allowed to infest things after that. People, places, inanimate objects. What's the number one export from the Earth to the Midlands? Technology. There you are. Unlike the rest of the worlds who use magic, your lot was denied any sort of supernatural powers for tens of thousands of years. So you found scientific and industrial solutions. I mean, who needs a magic spell to start a fire or to move a coach when you've got a lighter or an internal combustion engine? When the road reconnected to the Earth, all that wonderful technology was brought here, and it changed everything. Before, everything was handcrafted, and now everything's machine-built in factories. The ability to communicate over large distances was once only the realm of governments because it was so expensive, and now all that can be squashed down into a cell phone and sold cheaply. And the corporations who traded them, oh, did they ever get rich? So much so they bought all the governments of the world out. Thousands of years of kingdoms and empires simply purchased and replaced with business models in, half a century? Not that that's a bad thing, mind you. It certainly cut down the number of wars. I mean, it's hard to justify invading another country if that country is filled with potential customers. True. You said that troubled you, though. The angels can wield influence over inanimate objects through things like contracts, the stock and trade of corporations. If they've infected technology and that technology has been brought to the Midlands, they're already here. All right, if that's true, then that means they've been here for 100 years. So why haven't they done anything bad yet?
Well, those are the thoughts that keep you cool on a restless night, don't they? Hey, Professor, I had some questions about these figures. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you had company. It's quite all right. We're just discussing a little bit of business here. Sir Hanover Phillips, this is one of my student assistants, Landau Singh.
Hi, pleased to meet you.
Oh, likewise. Sir Hanover Phillips?
Yeah, I'm a knight, corporate knight, but yeah, I'm
Dude, that sounds really cool.
Landau here is quite an expert on programming the computer we use to run the planetarium simulation. Oh, is that the big domed building over there you see when you come in?
The very one. We use that for calibration purposes for the satellite communication systems. Although in about a week we'll be using it for a pet project of mine, maybe you'll be in town to see it.
Possibly. What is it?
Every night this summer we'll be doing an exhibit showing all of the nighttime skies of all the known worlds.
Wow, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, Landau here programmed most of them himself, too, including your home planet of Earth.
Oh my god, dude. Are you from Earth? Yes, I am.
Oh, awesome!
He's a bit of a freak for the Earth. I thought that might give him a thrill, if you don't mind. No, not at all. I mean, it's nice to get a positive reaction once in a while.
Dude, are you kidding me? Earth is like the coolest place in the world. That's where all the sweetest tech comes from. You have got to come out for the show we do for the Earth skies.
Well,
you gotta come on. It's the stars of the Earth. It's like a little slice of home.
Well, you gotta remember, I moved out to the Midlands when I was really young, so I don't really remember the skies all that clearly. And besides, I lived in a city, so I could barely see them.
Oh, duh, of course. You didn't have magic. You wouldn't have light pollution dampers. Still, you should come out and see. You can see the stars at night for the first time ever.
Well, if you put it that way, maybe I will. When does this start?
Next week?
Ideally next week, provided Mr. Landau and his fellow students have cleaned up the planetarium by then. Beg pardon?
He means the big end of the semester party. When the exams end, we use the planetarium as a big party space. We got like a light show and dancing and music and drinks. You should totally come to that.
Well, I'll see him.
Dude, please, I have so much I want to ask you about the Earth.
I'll try.
And that'll have to wait till later, I'm afraid, because we do have a lot of research to do around here in the meantime. However, Sir Phillips, I do have your contact information, and I'd like to send you my schedule. I'd like to continue our conversation from earlier, if it's all right with you.
Yes, please. I have a lot more questions to ask you, and I'll get out of your way now. Thanks so much for your time, Professor, and it was really nice meeting you, Landau.
Yeah, you too. I'll see you around town. Thanks.
Guillaume's Bar and Grill, drink till you're cooked. So, you done already, sailor?
Yeah, you could say that.
Now, what's wrong with you?
There are some developments and implications here.
Large-size implications or small-size implications? Large, world size, world spanning, kind of like we're all screwed type of implications.
Care to elaborate a bit?
Not without a few stiff drinks. You gotten started on that yet, or what?
Well and away. Why don't you just give me a list of what you want? I'll have it ready here for when you arrive.
Well, since you put it that way...
Excuse me. Hold on a second, Hanover. Yes? Are you Miss Nero Guillaume? That's me. A courier asked me to deliver this to you. Oh, thank you very much. Not at all, madam. Sorry about that, Hanover.
What's up?
Oh, somebody just sent me an envelope. It's probably from my mother. Probably wondering why I haven't sent her a thank you card already for...
Nero?
Hanover, where are you now?
What?
Where are you now? Right now, where are you? I'm out in front of the Metadyne Research Facility. I'm headed your way. Why?
Get back inside the building and find someplace safe, now.
Why? What's wrong?
Somebody just sent me a photograph. It's a picture of you going into the research institute. They know where both of us are.
Who does? I don't understand.
I don't know who it is. Now get back in the building. This is a warning.
Whoever this is knows I'm here. How's going back in the building going to mean he's safer?
It's safer than being out in the open. Now hurry. I'll be right there.
All right, I'm going back inside right now, but be careful on the way over here. If this isn't a warning, we don't know which one of us they're after. I don't want to find out.
Hanover? Hanover, what happened? Hanover, talk to me.
Okay,
What happened?
I know which one it was.
Hanover?
I've been shot.
Oh, God. All right, hold on. I'm coming. Don't you dare die. You hear me? I'm coming.
You must find this scenery unbelievably attractive because I just can't seem to keep you away from here.
Maybe you could explain it to me. Am I supposed to wind up in this place every time I nearly get killed, or what?
You tell me. You don't think I'm the one who brings you here, do you?
All right, so who does bring me where? And why are you always there to greet me?
Every time you fall, you call me to your side. I don't know why. I don't even know why I tell you the things I do. It just seems like it's what I'm supposed to do. As for where you are, look behind you, down the hill.
What am I... Oh, God. What is that?
What do you think?
It looks like a river of flesh.
I'm surprised you don't recognize the last resting place of Mesriel. After all, you did put it there.
What?
It was only half a face, but still, the resemblance is there.
That's the Angel of Waterford? But
It's huge!
Well, you only saw part of it, didn't you? You never got to see him crowned in his true glory. There was a sight. Well, what can you do?
So these mountains are a graveyard?
No. Down there, that's just a monument. I mean, after all, where would you bury the ones who herald the stars? Well, it looks like our little conversation is at an end once again.
Wait a minute. Where is this place, and what is that thing out in the hills?
You know, the sun never comes up over the horizon here. So what do you think? Is it dusk or dawn? Tell the truth. It all depends on which side you're on. And the voice, it doesn't come from something in the hills. It is the hills. See you real soon.
Easy. I've got you.
Nero? Don't move around much. Come on, just relax.
Somebody shot me.
Yes.
But you're here.
Yeah, really.
I'm alive.
Yeah, really, sit still. That's why I tried to warn you to sit still. Well, at least your friend is alive. That counts for something. Just not the security deposit, I'm afraid. Shall I fetch a bucket? That would be lovely, thank you.
The Account, A Tale of the Waking World, Relic Skies, Part 2.
All empty now?
God, I hope so. Ugh. I think I threw up somebody else's last 8 lunches. I don't even recognize half of that.
That's a lovely mental image, Hanover. Thank you very, very much. I'm going to be adding the contents of my own stomach to that bucket in a moment.
Well, misery loves a good laugh once in a while, I guess. So I have a multi-million-dollar question here, and that's...
Why are you still alive? Well, I happen to have a very good answer for that.
Actually, I was going to ask who your friend was, but I was going to get to that question sooner or later. Don't worry.
I am Detective Waring, Sir Phillips, and I work for the local police department.
Detective Waring?
Detective Waring.
Waring.
How is that spelled?
It's spelled exactly as it sounds. Thank you very much.
It's an oldie but a goodie. In any event, I was assigned to your case after your incident. Which brings me to why you're still alive after you were shot in the chest.
Now, let me guess. Since I'm back in the hotel room and this isn't the hospital, and since I just threw up everything I ate for the last year, I'm guessing it was a tormentor bullet?
Very astute, sir. Non-lethal, designed only to incapacitate the target. And since I have established that you are in fact alive, and at least no worse for wear as far as I know, my job here is done.
Done? Well, hold it. Doesn't the fact that somebody tracked me down and shot me, doesn't that constitute a crime of some sort?
Not in this case, sir. We found the shell casing left on the roof of the Metadine building, where your attacker conveniently left it for us. It is a standard shell casing used by company enforcers. Given its nature and the nature of the other evidence I have compiled here for your convenience, we have decided to file this under corporate crime and therefore out of police's jurisdiction. Yes, that surprised me too. I wasn't aware that intercorporate crime wasn't investigated by the police. Well, to be fair, it's only non-lethal ones.
Yeah, fair is fair. I suppose they can't be expected to follow up on every bit of corporate shenanigans, now can they?
Wait, if we weren't employed by a corporation, then what? Well, Miss Guillaume, in that case, the police could help you in any way they see fit. But seeing as the government charter has been written this way to make things easier for both sides, we can't help you.
So we have to investigate this ourselves, in other words.
I am sorry, but in the unlikely event that your assailants turn out to be not under a contract of any of our registered corporate entities, then feel free to contact me. Here is my card.
Thank you. But it really is spelled exactly as it sounds, isn't it?
As I said, it's been very nice to meet you, Sir Phillips, Miss Guillaume.
Thank you, Detective. So how was the rest of your day?
Promise me you'll let me in on all the nuances of corporate culture in the future, please.
Deal.
Good.
But only on the condition that you teach me everything I need to know about goblin clan culture so I don't make a jackass of myself when I finally meet your family.
Oh, you probably will anyway, but fair enough. So, it looks like we have corporate enemies, and at least one of them is a sniper.
Or a gun maven. Either way, it's not my idea of a good time.
No, and in spite of the fact we just got here, they've got enough intel on us to know where we are.
Which is good that was a warning shot, since they probably know where we are right now.
Oh, that I can verify for sure, because someone broke into our room.
What? Oh no, the laptop!
Calm down, they didn't get it. Wait a minute, how come? Notice the scorch marks all over the desk? They obviously tried to take it, and your computer didn't like that very much.
Really? Wow. Good evil computer. Oh, who's a good evil computer? Make sure to get you an evil computer treat. All right, I take that back. I don't want to know what it eats.
Yes, well, while it's debatable whether or not this is a lucky turn of events for us, we're still at a disadvantage.
What do you mean?
The paperwork Metadine sent you? You said you were bringing it to the bar?
Oh, shit, that's right. It was in my jacket.
And it's not there anymore. They must have taken it off of you while you were unconscious.
Great, now I know what we know.
Except that we don't know what we know because they took it from us before we had a chance to know it, didn't they?
Oh, crap.
I believe that's called square one, am I right?
Not exactly. No, there's a screwdriver in that bag. Give it to me, will you, please?
All right, here.
Thank you.
What are you doing?
See, what they had was a photocopy that I made downstairs, and the real one...
Oh, please, you didn't really try to hide it behind the light switch cover, did you? That's the oldest trick in the book.
Yes, and that's why everybody always falls for it.
You're more devious than I give you credit for, Hanover.
It's true, I hide stuff from you all the time.
And how would I know?
Exactly. Now we just gotta figure out who the hell is after us.
Ah, now I get to be the clever one here.
What do you mean? Whoa! Nice.
Hanover, meet Red House. Red House, this is Sir Hanover Phillips.
Am I supposed to say hello to the knife?
Humor a girl with a drawn weapon, why don't you?
Hello, Red House. Nice to meet you.
There.
Does it like me?
It's a knife. How am I supposed to know? More to the point, this type of blade is called a blood scent.
Okay.
Would you hand me that stack right next to you there?
Oh, here.
Thank you. Now, according to the manager of the hotel, our intruder must have broken into our room using magical items to defeat the hotel security measures.
Radio.
However, when they tried to steal the laptop, not only did it lash out at them with some kind of attack, but it managed to activate all the alarm systems connected to our room.
So they bolted before they could get the laptop.
Exactly.
The security cameras catch them?
No, they had a cloak on of some kind. All they got was a ghost image.
That's really expensive gear. These guys must have some serious money behind them.
And they're seriously professional. Even though they bolted in the middle of their job, they didn't leave a whole lot of evidence behind. However, the police collected what they could, and they left it conveniently for us. So I'm looking for... here we are. A blood sample.
From when the laptop hit him.
Exactly. It's not much, but we'll give it a try. All right, Red House, what do you think of this?
Oh, weird. It sort of drank it.
It's not very strong, but it's working. If I get close enough to the person who was in our room, this blade will tell me.
Spiffy.
Isn't it, though?
So that was the package you were getting from your family?
Yes. Well, I was expecting just a combat blade upgrade. That's what I asked for. I wasn't expecting these, though. These are brand new legacy blades.
How can they be brand new legacy blades?
Yeah, that does sound a little bit like all new classic, doesn't it? But how do I put this? Imagine somebody gave you a brand new journal, completely blank, and said, write down your most inner thoughts in this every single day. And remember, one day we'll come to collect that book, and we'll put it in our library, and then future generations are going to read what you were thinking.
I see. I'd be extra careful about what I wrote in a book like that.
These triplet blades were made specially for me, and they are blank. I will write their history, and they will write mine. And when I'm done with them, when they're full, I will return them to my clan. Perhaps I'll pass them on to my own children. Or maybe they'll just be collected from my corpse. And generations from now, perhaps a clan member or an ally of our clan will come and say, I am in desperate straits. I need a strong blade to defeat some great evil. Do you have one? And perhaps they'll give them one of these and say, these were wielded by Nero Guillaume, and she was strong and brave and smart and fast and fierce, and she was an honor to her family. It's little things like that that make the idea of a future without yourself in it more interesting, don't you think?
Yeah, I see what you mean. Wait a minute, 3 blades? I've only ever seen you fight with 2.
No, I'm a 3-blade fighter, one in each hand, one in the tail or foot. I lost one of my combat rondels about a week before I met you. I've been looking for an excuse to replace it ever since.
I hope your new blades get many, many years of use out of you.
I should hope you'd think that. After all, if I get killed working with you, you're the one who's probably going to have to return them to my mother with an explanation. She won't be happy about that.
I really have to meet this mother of yours. She sounds fascinating.
Oh, you will, don't worry. Now then, how are you feeling? Better?
Much better now, thank you.
That's good, because, you know, we dropped our guard and we got seriously owned like a pair of rank amateurs.
And we're at least one step above rank amateur, if you ask me.
And I don't know about you, but I'm taking this very personally.
It wounds me to the quick myself.
Shall we rock?
By all means. Hello? Oh, yes. No, I didn't. I'm afraid I didn't anticipate an extremely advanced and very dangerous anti-theft system built into it. Yes, I failed. Well, possibly. There's always a chance our identities could be discovered, but we won't give you up, so don't fret. I already have a plan B. It's set in motion. You can expect a call with my positive results tomorrow. Yes. Very good. Good evening, sir.
So who was that on the phone just now?
It was my Aunt Giselle. I was explaining all of our big top-secret plans to her.
Given the nature of the non-disclosure pacts we've signed, that seems both unwise and unprofessional.
I know that. I was talking to our employer just now.
We're not employed by your Aunt Giselle.
I was talking about our real employer. That's who I was talking to on the phone. There is no Aunt Giselle.
But you just said that... Oh, wait. Was that a wind-up?
Listen, Croyce, shut up for a second. Our employer is very unhappy with us because we appear to have bungled this last job.
Oh, did we?
Yes, Croyce, did you notice the absence of a certain piece of computer equipment that we were supposed to retrieve from the Metadine Knight?
Yes, but Trevor, you told me you wanted me to shoot the knight with a non-lethal bullet to distract him and his squire long enough so that you could break into their hotel room and steal his computer from him.
Yes, what of it?
Well, I did that.
Yes.
In fact, I did it very well.
Yes, you did it very well, Croyce.
So how is it that we bungled it then?
Because, Croyce, we're a team, that's why, and that's how teams work. If one of us screws it up, we both screw it up.
So, the next time I cock something up really badly, it will be your fault as well.
Yes, that's how that works.
It's not how we've done it up till now. Up till now, if I screwed something up, it was all my fault.
Yes, the point, Croyce,
Whenever I
that...
save the day, you try to take as much credit.
All right, listen, new rule, all right? If we screw up, it's both our faults. If we get something right, we both take credit. How's that?
I'm gonna hold you to that.
Let's just focus on the mission, all right? We have to deal with the knight and his squire.
Do you want me to shoot them?
That really is your only solution to any problem, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, I am a sniper.
Yes.
That's what I get paid to do.
Yes, I know that. I mean,
people hire me, they usually want me to shoot something.
Yes, I understand.
It's my field of expertise.
Christ! Quiet just for a moment, please. We need to focus on our objective. Our mission. We have to get that wretched Metadine toadie's laptop away from him.
Oh, yeah. The mission.
Exactly, yes. Our mission.
What about it?
We need a plan B.
I thought we had a plan B.
I wouldn't be bringing it up if we had one, would I?
You told the guy on the phone we had a plan B.
I lied.
Oh. It's not very professional of you.
All right, admittedly, it's not. But we will have a plan very soon. I guarantee you that, and mark my words. By the time we're done, those two Metadine newbies will know exactly who they are dealing with. Damn it.
You've really got to learn to stop doing that little snort at the end. It totally ruins the effect.
I know.
I mean, why do you even need to cultivate a maniacal laugh? It's not like it helps our job.
I just do, all right? I just want one.
All right.
Well, 5th floor. Room was 507, you said? That's what it says here. Blackpool Dynamics Incorporated, manufacturers of precision gyroscopic instruments. Any information beyond that about what they made? Well, according to my data sheet, they manufactured and provided precision gyroscopic computer parts for scientific application. This was one of Ave Nova's interests from 20 years ago. Well, they're listed in the brochure along with their address. No phone number, though. I took the liberty of looking them up in the citywide directory on the internet. There was a rudimentary website for them, but it looked like it hadn't been updated in years.
This isn't sounding very hopeful, is it?
Not really, no. But we do have about a dozen companies to go through, so we may as well start somewhere. Yes, a journey of many miles starts with one crappy dead-end step, doesn't it? Are you sure you want to bring that along with you on this investigation? What, my crappy attitude? You're not the boss of me. The laptop? Oh. I mean, we are looking for Ave Nova Holdings. Are you sure you want to walk into one while carrying that thing with you? Well, no, for a whole host of really good reasons, but since the people gunning for us are also gunning for it, I thought I should keep it by my side both for safety and bait purposes. Is that wise with a sniper out there? I mean, they'll just kill two birds with one bullet then, won't they? Yeah, possibly, but if I check it in anywhere for safekeeping, it's just going to become a hazard to innocent bystanders. From the thieves or the angelic infestation? Yes. You're far too ethical to work for a major corporation, do you know that?
Take it up with management. They're the ones who knighted me. Here we are.
Room 507, Blackpool Dynamics. Awfully quiet. Hear anything? No, and I don't sense anything either. On the other hand, corporations often have completely shielded and soundproof doors, so none of their secrets leak out.
True enough. All right, then.
Coffee break? Shall I try the door?
All right, let's do that.
Jesus.
Tell me about it. What a wreck.
Yeah, whoever worked here cleared out in a big damn hurry, didn't they?
Yes, it's very dusty, too. A lot of mold.
Yeah, even I smell it. No one's used this place in years.
Yes, but there's papers and overturned furniture everywhere. I mean, is that normal? Don't they usually clean up when a company leaves?
Well, good building management does, yes, but I don't know, maybe the custodians are understaffed or something.
Well, let's have a look around.
Yeah, grab any papers you see. Look for a Rolodex, too, if you can find one.
All right. Definitely Blackpool stationery, not very useful. I see a Rolodex.
Maybe they have a database on one of the computers. These are really old computers.
So are these phones.
Smell something?
Just a faint burnt smell.
Maybe it's this. Look. Some of the edges of these papers have been singed.
Oh, yes. You're right. Was this a raid? Maybe they were trying to hide something.
Maybe. I can't think of a situation that would be so desperate that I'd try burning files inside of an office building, though.
And the air conditioning's running at full blast, too.
Well, that's not unusual. I mean, they have to run the air conditioning for the whole building. I guess they can't turn it off for just one office.
Yes, but there's this faint odor in here. I don't think you pick it up because you're human. And I don't smell it anywhere else in the building. It just smells like burnt hair. And you know, now that we brought it up, air conditioning or no, the suite of offices is awfully cold. Yeah, it's a lot colder than the hallway.
Those goblin senses of yours detect anything else wrong with this place?
I'm ahead of you. Ever since I walked in, there's been this just sort of vague sense of unease. Like, do you ever go into an old building and you see the wallpaper and there's like a rectangular shape that's lighter than the rest of the room where they hung a picture or something?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's like here. It's like there's a shape of something left behind, but
you can't figure out what?
It wasn't very nice, whatever it was.
Maybe that's why they wrecked the place clearing out of here. Hang on.
What? What is it?
Wait a minute, come over here. Have a look at this.
What am I looking at?
Look at the room, the whole room. Do you notice a pattern here?
Okay, I see it, yes. All of the furniture and the desks and the papers, they've all been pushed away from the door.
Like everybody got up really fast and moved away from something coming in.
Well, I suppose if they were being raided by the authorities or something, that would make a certain amount of sense.
Yeah, but the disorder keeps pushing this way, right down this hall, and right over there.
The manager's office.
Next stop.
Oh, like we have a choice. Come on.
So is it me, or is it getting colder down at this end?
It's not just you. And if you notice, these walls are scratched and gouged, and it looks like they were made by fingernails.
Well, here we are.
Here we are.
Anything?
Nope.
Why don't I go first? If I have to whip out a burst punch, I'd rather you weren't standing in front of me.
Got your back.
Here we go.
Anything?
No, nothing.
Well, no news is good news.
No, I mean nothing. Come here, look at this. I mean, come on, look. There's no furniture, there's no paper, there's no dust.
The paint looks brand new. That burning smell isn't in here.
Well, that's pretty disquieting, too, but it's still a dead end. I suppose we should go back
Wait,
in.
close the door. There's something on the back of it.
What is it?
It's a promotional poster, look.
That's the Ave Nova symbol.
Yes, look. Ave Nova is coming. Change is nigh. Would this have been from back when the companies merged? Possibly, but this poster doesn't look 20 years old.
No, the graphics look too slick, too. This can't be older than 10 years.
But they would have had control of it for longer than that, wouldn't they?
Unless Blackpool was only an associate organization, and then Ave Nova got a controlling interest in it years later. Remember, Waterford didn't fall overnight.
I suppose that makes some sort of logical sense here. Just this whole idea of a corporation infecting another corporation and taking over their holdings and their technology and their advertising.
It's unnatural?
Yes, and in the Midlands, that's saying something.
Yeah, well, in a world where...
Please tell me that's your ringtone and it's not coming from the office.
I hate to break it to you. Weren't those phones dead?
They weren't even on the hook.
Well, seeing as they're between us and the door out, I guess I'll go first again.
Still got your back.
Okay, ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3!
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Excuse me. Hi there. Can I help the two of you?
Possibly. Yes. Is this the Blackpool Dynamics office?
Yes, I'm Don Trent, the assistant manager, and you are...
Hi. My name is... this is Hanover Phillips.
Yeah, and this is my associate, Nero Guillaume.
We're from Metadyne.
Oh, I see, yes. I guess I understand. I must know how the two of you feel about all of this, but it was a little bit abrupt, I understand, but it turns out we just needed to look for greener pastures, and we got a better deal.
A better deal?
Oh, I see. With who exactly? We're just curious on our end, because we're a little out of the loop here.
Sorry to hear that. Rayburn must have sent you over here himself.
Rayburn?
Look, it's nothing personal, and we had a very good working relationship with your company, but the new company has a lot of exclusivity deals. You have to understand that.
Yeah, I'm sure Mr. Rayburn will be really disappointed, but,
Yes.
well, the thing is... We're out of the loop here. We were just wondering, with who do you have a deal?
Boy, you two really are new in town, aren't you? Come on, the big dog. The new kids in town, the one everyone's talking about, the ones everyone's so excited about. They're sending one of the representatives over here to take over this very afternoon. That's why we have all the bunting up and all the streamers. A big party atmosphere.
Would you excuse me for a second, please? This company you're merging with...
Takeover, really?
Yeah, it wouldn't be named Ave Nova, would it?
I could see how you boys from the old guard would be feeling a little bit apprehensive right now, but, you know, change is good. Change is inevitable. Change is nigh. Change will sweep us all. You'd better decide which side you're on, don't you think? I mean, for someone like you, it'd be just like going home. God knows I did decide, and I couldn't be happier. So if you'll excuse me, I've got some celebrating to do. You're welcome to stick around if you want, though.
Thanks a lot.
Not a problem.
Hanover, can I talk to you?
Did they have this office hidden or something? Was there some sort of weird back entrance that we triggered when we walked through that door?
That's exactly what I was trying to figure out. Look at this. I snagged a couple of memos.
What am I looking at?
Look at the date. I can't see the date. They're all smudged.
Look again. They're not smudged. They're blurry.
What?
Now check your phone.
All right. I'm not getting a date or time.
Me neither. A magic field or not, we should be getting some kind of phone reception.
Are you sensing anything about this?
Hello, yes, hi. Not from the office, but your laptop is going haywire.
All right, hold on, let me check.
Hurry. All right.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my God.
Okay, all the Ave Nova icons are really bright. I don't think screens can get this bright.
And please tell me the blood dripping off of them is a screensaver.
No, my screen is actually bleeding. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could have your attention, please.
Put that away.
Well, this is it, folks. The big changeover day. We've all been waiting for it, and I'm just as excited as the rest of you are. Today is the day that we hand the reins of our company, of our destiny, over to our new masters. It's been a long time coming, and heaven knows we've all prepared for it. But it's finally here. The contracts have all been signed, and it's all over but the shouting. And a quick FYI, I've just been informed that the representative of our new owners has just gotten off the elevator, so why don't you welcome him with a big round of applause, everyone? Come on, join me.
Well, this ought to be interesting, don't you think?
Oh, shit.
Hanover?
Oh, come on, everyone. You can do better than that. Come on. Let him hear you. Let him really hear you.
Okay, that was plenty interesting enough, don't you think? Fascinating. Let's get the hell out of here. Where are we supposed to go? It's out in the hallway. Manager's office is the only place we can go. Brace you!
Oh, God.
What's happening?
Keep back from the door. Keep back from the door.
Is it over? I'm not sure. Ask a silly question.
It's trying to get in.
I noticed. We're sort of trapped in here, aren't we?
Kinda.
Just double checking.
I can triple check if you want. Oh, boy.
So,
It's, still out there.
yep.
So how long have we been in here? Not sure. My phone still isn't working right. I don't know, about 40 minutes maybe? You know, once the terror subsides and the adrenaline wears off, being trapped in a room like this is actually pretty tedious.
You already pointed that out to me.
When?
About 10 minutes ago.
Sorry, I guess I wasn't paying attention to what I was saying.
That's all right, neither was I.
To what? What? You weren't paying attention to what?
To what you were saying.
What was I saying?
I don't know.
Oh.
Would you like to hear my theory as to why it hasn't come crashing through that flimsy little door, in spite of the fact that it sounded like it wrecked the entire office like a train?
Because this room is sort of shiny and new and freshly painted, and the office before was either old and decrepit and ruined or filled with people as if it was out of time from about 10 years ago.
I suppose it was pretty obvious, wasn't it?
Well, for someone who's having the same exact experience as you, yeah. And I really have to pee. Oh, sorry, Nero. I didn't realize pee offended you that badly.
No, it's not that. I have to pee myself. It's your laptop.
What about it?
It's giving me a really, really bad headache.
Oh, God, I'm sorry, Nero. Hang on. Here, we'll turn it off.
Thank you.
Just get it open and... Somebody didn't like that.
Oh, that's strange. You think they'd be all about an evil laptop?
Yeah. Unless they don't want me to turn it off. Well, why do you... You think maybe the laptop is causing this? I don't know, it might be a key component. I suppose there's only one way to find out. Yes, and hurry up, would you please? Outside of the bag, it's making the headache worse. Okay, hang on, I just gotta shut down a couple of things. What kind of headache is it? Ice cream without the cold, though strangely still tasting of pistachio. Okay, here we go. Oh boy. Alright, shutting down. I hope this doesn't make it worse. I don't think this headache can get any worse. I meant our overall situation. Don't shout. Sorry. Well, seems quiet. And my headache seems to have stopped. Shall we have a look outside? Hold on. Go ahead. Right then, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Brightly lit and freshly painted. So, what the ding-dang hell was that all about? Yeah. I'm sure that's one we'll be racking over for a while. Do you sense anything? Well, actually... You know, most people who want to view one of the office spaces that I have for rent usually have the common courtesy to call me first and make an appointment. I was just about to say there's a woman in a business suit standing behind you, Hanover. I hate you both. The Account, A Tale of the Waking World. Relic Skies, Part 3. So, Ms. Hartnell? Mrs. Hartnell, if you please. I have been married for the past 35 years, and happily so. And I know it's a quaint custom these days, but I sort of like it that way. Mrs. Hartnell, what can you tell us about Blackpool? Well, they occupied this office. There's really not much more to tell beyond that, I suppose. I mean, they were doing very well for themselves for a while, and then they got purchased by another company. Which company would that have been? Well, it was one of the larger conglomerates, I seem to recall. Not Metadyne, obviously. Otherwise, you two wouldn't be here troubling me, would you? You have no idea which company it would have been? Not off the top of my head, no. But that's publicly available information. You should be able to simply look that up with an internet search if you want. What about a company called Ave Nova? Could they have been the purchaser? No, it was definitely one of the big ones. I remember that. It was a brand name. Ave Nova. I've never heard of that company before. At all? No, I'm sorry, it doesn't ring a bell. Or they knew... Well, obviously they wouldn't be new if they had purchased Blackpool 12 years ago. And this was 12 years ago, you're sure of that? Absolutely sure of that. I remember that very clearly. They were doing very well for themselves, thanks to the technology boom that was spilling over from Earth. And when that went bust, they went with it. That's the nature of the business. They were bought out just like dozens of other companies. Some right in this building. I do remember they packed up and left rather abruptly. That was unusual. Yes, I remember it very clearly because the employees arrived for work that morning and the office was locked and stripped. I had to bring in a locksmith personally just to get the offices open so they could collect their personal belongings. So nothing disastrous happened here or anything? I mean, nothing bad like deaths or anything? I think both I and the police would have remembered something like that. I mean, bad publicity notwithstanding. Although... Yes? I'd like to keep the information I'm about to relate to you on a strict professional basis. I don't want word to get around, you understand? Absolutely, sure. Good. You notice that this suite of offices is unoccupied? Yes. Well, for all intents and purposes, it has been since Blackpool moved out. I mean, that's not to say we haven't rented the space. We certainly have. It's a wonderful space with good views, as you can see. It's just that any corporation that sets up shop here doesn't last very long. They usually ask for a new suite, and barring that, well, they simply move to a different building. Did they cite any particular reason why? Well, it's going to sound a little bit irrational and silly, but just a general case of bad vibes in here. We've had it checked out by professionals all across the board, and they tell us the same thing. There's nothing psychically, physically, or metaphysically wrong with the space. It just feels wrong. And judging by the non-specific information you gave me about the experiences you had in here before I arrived, I think my suspicions are confirmed. Sorry to have to tell you I have a cursed office. Oh, don't worry about that, my dear. There actually is a market for that sort of thing, believe it or not. Unfortunately, the companies who want a space like that have a tendency to be somewhat, low rent. Still... low rent is better than no rent, I suppose. Just going to have to put together a new listing for the realty agent. So if you don't mind, I rather have a busy schedule ahead of me, so if you're done... actually, I have one more question. Have you ever seen, this insignia before.
Ooh, can't say as I have. It's a corporate logo of some kind?
In a sense, yes.
Whoever made it certainly had a morbid sense of design.
No, I'm afraid I can't help you. And you're sure you've never heard of a corporation called Ave Nova?
My dear boy, Hartnell Enterprises has been renting corporate spaces for over 40 years. I am familiar with all of the major and minor players in this town and many of the others. If there was a corporation called Ave Nova, I would have heard of it by now.
Well, thank you very much for all your help, Mrs. Hartnell. We really appreciate it. And we're very sorry we barged in without an appointment.
Oh, not at all, my dears, and feel free to look around if you want. Just be sure to turn out the lights and lock the door when you leave. Ta!
Well, that was fascinating and completely useless at the same time, wasn't it?
What in the ding-dang, flippity-ding-dang heck happened to us while we were in here?
I haven't the faintest clue, to be honest with you. We were shown a vision of the past, I suppose.
Yeah, but it was a vision of the past that didn't seem to have anything to do with the actual events that took place here, as near as we can tell. I mean, where does that leave us?
Well, obviously it had something to do with Ave Nova, that's for certain. Otherwise we wouldn't have gone through all of this. And we do know that one of the major players purchased Blackpool.
Yeah. And that reminds me, we know one more thing.
That Metadyne was one of the bidders in the running for it, and that Rayburn was brokering the agreement.
Yes.
Well, that is if the vision can be trusted. I mean, if this is being dispensed by angelic power, we know they're notorious liars.
Yeah, but I don't know. I still think it's worth following up on. I'm going to have a long talk with Rayburn about this. He might have some information. That would leave us with something instead of nothing.
Actually, that's where you're wrong. There is one more thing we might be able to follow up on.
What?
This room isn't entirely empty, you know. Look up.
What? The security cameras?
Exactly.
But
every office has video monitoring systems. It's a legal requirement. You should know that as well as anybody.
Well, yeah, but do you think anybody's going to really have the monitoring video from 12 years ago on file?
A reputable security firm will. They keep vaults full of this stuff just in case of any future legal proceedings.
Really? Wait, that means that major corporation offices have this stuff permanently on file on video somewhere?
Afraid so. If you've ever done anything embarrassing or humiliating in sight of a video camera, a record of it exists somewhere or another.
Oh, lovely.
So, nose-picking or something more lurid?
I refuse to comment on the grounds that it may incriminate me. Besides, what does this have to do with us?
One of the things the Guillaume clan is renowned for is providing extremely reliable and very honest security agents to all the major firms. I'm well connected, you know. I can pull a lot of strings to get some information if need be.
So you think you can get the security cam footage for this office?
If we can find out what day the company was sold and when it closed its doors, I should be able to get some of the video from that area. But more importantly, I should be able to ferret out a list of all the people who used to work in this office.
And then we can ask them if they remember what happened. Oh, you're brilliant.
I know, it's a natural fact, isn't it? All right, so what's our plan then?
We need to find a private place to make a phone call to Rayburn. I want to know what he knows about Blackpool.
And the security information?
Well, that takes top priority, too. Why don't we set off towards the direction of your family's offices, and then if we find someplace private along the way, I can stop and make a phone call.
But before that, why don't we stop at this wonderful shop? Look, just look in this window with me. Look at that. Isn't that glorious?
It's a chocolatier.
I know, just look at those confections. We should go in and buy some.
What is it with you and your metabolism? We just had a huge lunch before we came here.
If you're going to work with me, you're going to have to learn that I always have to stop out for chocolate. It's one of my basic food groups. It just makes me tingle.
Lovely.
Though not nearly as much as this blood scent blade I'm carrying.
Huh? Oh. How close?
No idea, so why don't you just act very interested in the chocolate in the window so we don't give away the fact that we're aware of them.
Right. Oh, just look at those champagne truffles!
Don't overdo it.
Sorry.
Honestly, I can't take you anywhere.
Yeah, well, either way, we should get off the street because one of these guys is a sniper and we don't know when they're going to make their move.
About that. They made the move.
Fair enough, let's do the same. See which way the shot came from?
Definitely above.
Ah! Okay, so he's on the rooftops.
And he's hitting behind us deliberately. He's obviously herding us towards a trap.
And his partner's got all that stealth gear. Terrific.
We should probably get some cover.
You know, these guys are taking an awfully vigorous shooting at us in public like this.
Which either means they're really desperate or really professional. Or both. To your right, there's an alley coming up.
Good, go right past it.
What?
Trust me, I've got a plan.
That's when I'm most suspicious of you.
Get an angle from where he's shooting from.
All right. 5-story office building behind us, 8 o'clock high.
All right, when I say go, get behind me and scrunch down. Ready?
All right.
Go!
You're using the laptop as a shield?
Yeah.
That was your plan?
Well, yeah.
It's a foot wide. It doesn't offer us any cover.
Look, they want the laptop intact, all right? I'm just going to use it like this. Just stay scrunched down. I got the angle.
Hanover, he's a professional sniper. He'll be able to shoot around it.
Only if these guys want us dead. And if they wanted that, they would have done it by now.
You're trusting on the kindness of a professional sniper not to shoot us.
Well, to be honest, that is the plan.
I wonder if Jenkins' not wrong about you.
Who?
Never mind. Can we just move from here? I feel ridiculous scrunched down between your legs like this.
Will you just stay cool? Jeez, I'm supposed to be the panicky one here.
I'm being shot at. What do you want me to do?
I want you to figure out where the guy whose blood you have on your knife is.
All right.
He's close.
How close?
Back behind us.
Uh-huh.
Probably down that alley you had us run past.
Yep.
That's not bad, Hanover. I should have spotted that myself, though. I must be getting rusty.
Save it. Is he getting closer?
Yes.
Okay. Give me your best guesstimate when he's right on top of us.
Then we grab him and throw all three of ourselves about 12 feet ahead of us?
I like a girl who's quick on the uptake.
Thank you. Get ready. Now!
Wow. I've never watched one of those stealth suits come unfazed like that before up close. It's really cool. Neither of you move. I've got a gun pressed right to this knight's head.
Yes, and I've got two very, very sharp blades pressed against your throat. You pull that trigger and they'll be carrying your head home in a bag.
Why don't we just stay calm now and call this a draw for the moment?
A draw. You seem to have forgotten that my partner is a sniper.
And you seem to have not noticed that when we threw ourselves on the sidewalk, we put a parked car between us and his line of fire.
He's a consummate professional. Do you really think that's going to hinder his progress?
Trevor, this is Croyce. There's a parked car between you and my line of fire. Do you want me to shift positions?
Don't use our names.
Sorry, what?
Don't use our names on an open channel.
Can they hear me?
Quite well, thanks. Loud and clear.
Oh, God.
Well, fortunately for us, I was using aliases and not our real names so as not to reveal our identity.
Croyce, shut up!
Sorry. But this is a perfect illustration of why I told you should have replaced that earpiece after you broke it.
Croyce!
So at least we've managed to establish that your partner is a sniper and that, judging from your gear here, you're some kind of espionage agent.
Professionally trained and perfectly capable of ending someone's life.
And I've been trained as a Guillaume clan assassin. I have ended people's lives, so be careful what you say next.
So, now that we've cemented our stalemate, I have a couple of questions for you.
Do you? Well, I hope you're not expecting any useful answers from a professional spy.
Oh, please, you're about as professional as we are, which isn't very when you get right down to it.
So we've already established that you're after this little bit of kit I'm carrying around with me. The question is who and why.
Oh, please, don't play stupid.
I'm not playing stupid.
You should have emphasized the word not instead of playing. It would have sounded smarter.
Yeah, I'll remember that in the future, thank you.
You're welcome.
I refuse to divulge any information about my mission. So you can go ahead and kill me if you want, but mark my words. There'll be others to follow, many others, and we will not rest until you are stopped. And you've paid for what you've done. You will not get away with any of this.
Yeah, well, as it happens... Wait, what? You're making it sound like we're the bad guys here.
Oh, yes, what you and those bastards at the top of Metadyne are doing is a positive boon to civilization, isn't it?
What are you talking about? We're the ones who are
Hanover,
trying to...
quiet, zip, stum, nothing, no divulging secrets, corporate things, quiet, Shh. Better. We're obviously not going to get any information out of this clown, so what do we do now?
Hang on. Hello?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, Croyce, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'm gonna call a little bit of a truce here, all right? Lower your rifle and I'll let your friend go.
Fair enough.
Thanks. Let him up, Nero.
You sure that's a good idea?
Not particularly, no, but I don't see any other options, and I'm getting tired of lying on the sidewalk like this.
All right, you, safety on. Now get up.
All right.
Slowly. All right. Back away.
Fair enough. Well played, Sir Phillips. But you haven't heard the last of either of us. And as I said before, you will be stopped. Your kind always gets just payment at the end, and if I have anything to say about it, I will see it done.
Damn.
Oh, get lost, Snorty.
Hanover, call me psychotic, but are we missing a very large chunk of information here?
What? You tell me! What did he mean we were going to pay for what we've done? What do we do? We're the good guys here.
Well, I suppose that depends on who they're working for, doesn't it?
Yeah, but he made it sound like Metadyne was some kind of James Bond villain organization. We were out to destroy the world or something.
What's that got to do with your laptop? For that matter, how does he know what's even on it?
Well, he wouldn't know what was on it unless someone at Metadyne actually told him. Okay, that's it. I am definitely talking to Rayburn now.
Just remember you're working inside a corporate structure. Take it from someone who's familiar with organizations like this, morality can be, well, sketchy.
Nero, were you serious when you said you'd actually assassinated people?
Sometimes the world isn't a pretty place, you know.
Guess not.
If it makes you uncomfortable, we don't have to work together, you know.
I never said that.
Good, as long as we're clear on that. I'd like to keep things clear and professional when necessary.
Look, Nero, I really
You better
didn't
call
mean...
Rayburn and get the information that you need from him. In the
Nero,
meantime,
Nero.
I'm going to head over to my family security center and dig up any information that they have on the Blackpool organization. We'll rendezvous when I'm finished. Is that acceptable to you, Sir Phillips?
Yes, that'll be fine, Miss Guillaume.
Good, I'll contact you as soon as I'm done. See you then. Shit. Rayburn, you better have some serious fucking answers for me.
To bear a weight that cannot be borne, Sisyphus, even you aren't that strong. Although your heart cannot be torn, for time is short and art is long. Far from celebrated sepulchres, toward a solitary graveyard, my heart, like a drum muffled hard, beats a funeral march for the ill-starred. Many jewels are buried or shrouded in darkness and oblivion's clouds, far from any pick or drill bit. Many a flower unburdens with regret, its perfume sweet like a secret, in profoundly empty solitude to sit.
Did you say something, Professor?
Ill-starred. It's an old poem by Charles Baudelaire.
Oh yeah, he's an Earth poet, isn't he?
From the time before the road reconnected to the Earth.
Oh, so Earth cultures were really totally obsessed by stars, weren't they?
They were at that. But I suppose you can't blame them. After all, a world robbed of magic, they'd have to look for mystery somewhere. What could be more mysterious than the stars?
Suppose if you didn't know what they were or what was out there, you might be.
Unless you knew what was out there.
That's his maybe. They got the planetarium projectors program like I asked you to. I got 4 more to load up, and they were completely ready to go with the presentation. You should really come down and check it out. Sitting there in the dark, watching the stars roll by. Must be what it's like to fly through space. It is wicked infernal.
Wicked infernal?
Yeah.
Is that a new colloquialism, or is this something of your own invention?
Well, it's mine, but I'm trying to get it off the ground, so I use it all the time.
I'll be down to check your progress a little later on today, okay?
Radio! Oh, Landau, one more thing.
Yeah?
Make sure to load those coordinates perfectly.
I want these skies to be absolutely accurate to scale. It's extremely important. Remember that.
But don't worry, Professor, I'm all over it like wallpaper. See you later.
Many jewels are buried or shrouded in darkness and oblivion's clouds, far from any pick or drill bit. Many a flower unburdens with regret, its perfume sweet like a secret, in profoundly empty solitude to sit.
The Account, A Tale of the Waking World, Relic Skies, Part 4.
Rayburn speaking. Yes, what is it, Phillips?
Out of curiosity, when I called, do you just look to see if my name's appearing on the screen, or do you have a special ringtone for me?
Whenever my phone rings, I look out my window, and if I see a cloud of locusts or a blue moon, I just naturally assume it's you calling.
I see.
And to answer your question, your ringtone plays the theme from The Shining. And please tell me this isn't the reason you called me.
I called you because I have some questions about one of the companies linked to Ave Nova that I think you might be able to answer personally.
I have an idea. Why don't you put these questions in your report? You know, the one I'm still waiting for?
In spite of what I said before, I actually have a really good excuse as to why I haven't filed that report yet. I think you'll be interested in it.
Wait, don't tell me. There's something to do with this incident of you being shot by a sniper?
Oh, you've heard that one already.
Well, of course I've heard that one already. The police contacted my office as soon as it happened.
You didn't check in on me.
I didn't need to. Your life insurance papers are all up to date.
Of course they are. Anyway, about those questions,
Can this wait until after lunch, Phillips? I am rather hungry.
I think this piece of information that I need is absolutely crucial to our investigation into Ave Nova, sir. So please, if you could help me out.
All right, Phillips, if it's really that important.
Hello? I'll just join you at your table, and then we can have lunch together and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Does anybody here know how to just walk up and say hello to me without trying to scare me to death?
Now, I don't think you'd say that if you could see what you yourself looked like when you were startled, Phillips. It's an absolute hoot.
What?
Do I need to perform a Heimlich maneuver, Phillips? I can see you haven't started eating yet, but I wouldn't put choking on nothing past you.
What are you doing here?
What, am I too highbrow for this place? Am I ruining the curve for you?
You know exactly what I mean. Have you been following me?
Phillips, you're requesting Knight for the Metadyne Corporation.
Yes.
I know this because I knighted you and I gave you your quest, and you report directly to me.
Of course I've been following you.
Well-
You're on a very important mission. We've been keeping tabs on you from the very beginning. Your phone has a GPS tracker in it. You even knew that, for God's sake.
Well, yeah,
The Metadyne
but-
Corporation is paying your salary, footing your bill for your expenses and your travel,
And we're cleaning up after your messes in case you didn't know, so I think I'm entitled to be a little bit nosy about your whereabouts, don't you think?
yes.
Good. But
What are you doing here in this restaurant?
well, I'm hungry, of course. What looks good on the menu?
And before you get all red-faced and flustered, I'll try to explain, seeing as I seem to have to do that with you all the time anyway. I was scheduled to come here to Baylor weeks ago. It's a simple, happy coincidence that we're in the city at the same time. And lo and behold, a mere half an hour after my arrival, I get a complaint from the police that one of my knights and his squire have been engaged in a very public firefight with two of our competitors' corporate agents. So I thought I would give you a little jingle-jangle on the phone and have a little discussion with you about some of the finer points of discretion, shall we say, seeing as you're representing our corporation's good name and all. But when I went to call, I noticed that the GPS registered that you were a mere 2 blocks from my location, so I decided to intercept you personally, saw that you had come into this restaurant, and followed you in. And coincidence of coincidences, you called me.
And naturally, you couldn't resist the temptation to sneak up behind me and try and give me a myocardial infarction.
Well, duh, who wouldn't?
And for your information, sir, it wasn't a firefight. They were shooting at us. We were running.
And it still looks the same on a police report, regardless of the circumstances. So try to keep that in mind for public relation purposes in the future, would you please?
Well, I just-
And don't pester me with the petty details at the moment. I'm about to eat lunch, in case you haven't noticed. Just file it in your report, and I'll read it later. Now, I understand that you had some very important questions for me.
Actually, quite a few.
Well, perfect then. Why don't we order some food, and while we wait for it, you can bring me up to date on all of your recent adventures, and then I'll answer your questions as best I can.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, Phillips, but don't let the oral recap fool you. I'm still expecting a full written report come the morning.
Yes, Mr. Rayburn.
Ta-da! Well, that's par for the course, isn't it? I finally come home, and I'm expecting a fanfare, or flowers, or confetti, or something. And what do I get? Not a sardine.
What is this? How dare someone let a fresh spring breeze, as if wafting across a fragrant field of wildflowers, invade the sterility of my office? Just who do you think you are?
I know, I'm sorry. I'm just a wake of distraction, aren't I?
Nero Guillaume.
Kinrowan Lassiter.
Come here, girl.
It's so good to see you.
You too.
Is your fur going gray?
Silver. Gray does not touch this ensemble and never will.
My apologies, and it looks very distinguished on you.
I'm glad you think so. I do have paramours to impress, you know. So, my vision of loveliness, what brings you back here? After how long?
It's been at least 16 months since the last time I passed through Baylor.
Oh, has it really been that long? How fleeting time is.
Have I changed at all since the last time you saw me?
Let me have a look at you. You know, you have an air about you.
Like what?
Like one who has gained wisdom. One who's found what they were looking for when they set out on a journey across the roads. And your tits are bigger.
Really, that's what I was fishing for.
So, here for business or pleasure?
Well, that's always a toss-up for me, but I think on this case I'll have to fall on the side of heavy-duty business.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard some rumor that you had hooked up with Metadyne as a squire?
That is me, sir. I am a squire to Sir Hanover Phillips, questing knight of the Metadyne Corporation.
Really? So what is this Sir Phillips like?
Kind, noble, trustworthy, brave, good friend, very clever and intelligent. A little reckless, perhaps, and possibly even tactless, and a little judgmental, but what do you expect from an earthling?
Ah, he is an earthling. I heard as much. So, have you had any of your questions answered then?
Not as of yet, no. But I've got time. No hurry.
Do you think he can answer them for you?
Well, I wouldn't be hanging around him if I didn't think he could.
Good luck to you then.
Thank you.
By the way, is he pretty?
Good-looking and an athletic desk jockey, just your type.
If he would go for a bugbear daddy, please introduce me.
I haven't hashed out his preferences yet. I'll have to get back to you.
Please do. So, what can I help you with, my dear?
I need some security cam footage from a company called Blackpool from about 12 years ago. Do you think you might still have that on file?
Well, if one of our affiliates handled security for them, I'm sure I can dig them up for you.
Great.
What's this for?
Strictly legitimate, nothing illicit, I assure you, and you can call Metadyne, they'll vouch for my request.
As if I couldn't trust someone with a face as lovely as yours.
Well, naturally.
This may take a little bit of time, though. You certainly don't want to go about town, and we'll have a courier deliver the files to you.
Oh, that would be perfect. Actually, I take that back. You know what? I think I'll just wait for the files. I had a little bad experience with the courier earlier, I'm afraid.
Oh, I understand. Yes, your mother sent out a package, and Jenkin volunteered to deliver it to you.
Yeah.
That's a shame. He's very fond of you, you know.
I know he is, and I'm fond of him, too. It's just not in the way he wants me to be. I see him as sort of a big brother or a cousin or something, you know, the kind you love but want to punch in the face most of the time.
In that case, why don't you fetch us both something to drink, and I'll get to work processing your request. We can wait together.
Thank you so much, Conroy. It's so nice to see such grace and kindness in an older person.
Get going, you, before I choose to put you over my knee and spank you, and we'll both get hurt.
Promises, promises.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed. You're certain you haven't left out any details?
Not to my knowledge.
And you think the laptop we gave you had something to do with the vision you had at the Blackpool Dynamics office?
I can't say for sure, but I'm almost certain there's some kind of connection.
Well, to answer your question, yes, Metadyne was interested in purchasing Blackpool about 12 years ago. We thought they'd be a good acquisition. They were a known quantity, and we had a good working relationship with them as they were providing us with precision scientific components for our instruments. But we were the ones who broke off the purchase, not them. You see, we wanted to build our own manufacturing division, not unlike what Blackpool Dynamics had set up in shop already. We figured it would simply be easier for us to buy Blackpool Dynamics and retrofit them for our purposes, but they were asking for far too much money. So in the end, we simply decided to build the division of our own from the ground up.
So what happened to Blackpool then?
Well, their stocks took a bit of a tumble, they lowered their price, and they were ultimately snapped up by the Astra Corporation.
Astra, really?
Yes, and then as now, Astra was still one of our principal competitors.
Yeah. So how long has that rivalry been going on for?
Oh, since the very beginning, back when Astra was the established corporation du jour, and Metadyne was the young upstart about 40 years ago. And incidentally, while you were telling me your story, I ran a quick data search of all the employees we know work for the Astra Corporation, and they happen to employ 2 agents by the names of Trevor and Croyce.
So Astra's the one after the laptop, then?
Well, that would seem to be the case, but I'm puzzled as to the reason why. I mean, we've heavily modified that laptop for your purposes, but there's nothing in it that they wouldn't have in their own technological arsenal, and there's no big secrets about it either.
But it does contain all the Ave Nova information we've accumulated up till this point.
True, but I'm still not sure that covers it.
Is there any possibility that Astra could be behind the Ave Nova Corporation?
That's highly unlikely. That person you saw in the experience of yours, what was his name?
Trent.
Yes. He said that they were siding with the new kids in town, the big dogs on the block, whatever it was he said.
Yeah.
He was implying that whoever this was, they were new players. Astra's been an established corporation for over 70 years.
True.
And besides, we have some agents on the inside of Astra, and they've been informing us lately that they've been suffering some major technological meltdowns of an unexplained nature.
They've been hit by Ave Nova as well.
Precisely. So I'm not sure how much credence I could give that vision of yours, at least not on that front.
It's par for the course, I guess. I mean, not one thing that happened in that vision seems to correlate with real life. It seems like it's just one giant red herring.
I'm not so sure. Something about the information seems as if it should be important somehow. I'd keep it tucked in the back of your mind for future reference.
Fair enough. One more thing, Mr. Rayburn. About what Trevor said about how Metadyne was going to be made to pay for what they've done here.
Well, what do you expect, Phillips? They are the competition, after all.
Yeah. I'm just hoping I'm on the good guy's side, that's all.
Well, I'm very sorry, Phillips. I'll make sure that in the future, the intricate secret workings of a corporation are run past your moral filter.
Yeah, well...
You know as well as I do that being a corporation this large, we occasionally tread lightly into areas that are, shall we say, morally ambiguous.
Yeah.
But I think I can assure you that in this case, there's nothing going on here that you would be particularly ashamed of. Well, at least nothing that you would be if you'd worked for this company for 25 years, anyway.
Oh, that's me. Excuse me for a second, sir. Oh, it's Nero. Hello?
Hanover, I've got the information about Blackpool and the security cam footage that we were looking for. We need to meet up and discuss it.
Anything juicy?
Nothing I'm prepared to discuss over an unprotected line with you.
That bad?
You'll see.
Okay. Meet me back at the hotel room. I'll head over there right now.
Over and out.
Mr. Rayburn...
I understand perfectly. It's just good to see you working. On your way, I'll pick up the tab. And by the way, I still expect that written report as soon as possible.
Right, thanks, Mr. Rayburn.
And Phillips, please try to be careful and not wreck too many things. We're still not exactly sure what we've gotten you into.
Right.
Well, at least some people aren't sure, anyway. Hello? Good, you're finally here. We've got a lot to go over. Yeah, look.
What?
Nero, you don't have to apologize for anything to me, all right? It's not your fault. I've had a little bit of a strange time since I've gotten back here.
Okay, but it's just... Look, I didn't mean to say
Hanover,
that...
I told you before, the world is not a pretty place. And sometimes my place in the world isn't a pretty one either, and that's my problem and not yours.
But
and before you say anything, I do not want judgment or sympathy. Understood?
Understood. Can I at least offer you my support?
Now you're catching on.
Good. So, you said you had something you didn't want to talk to me about over the phone.
Yes. First off, there's this.
A flash drive?
It contains the compressed video files chronicling the last 2 weeks of operation of the Blackpool Dynamics office as viewed by the security camera.
Cool. Good job there.
Well, don't thank me. Thank my friend Conroy, and he's a real genius when going through old databases. Well, these things would have been impossible to find without his help.
Really? Wow, I'd like to meet this guy.
It's funny you should mention that. He'd love to meet you, too. I'll have to set it up sometime.
Fantastic. I look forward to it. Now, how exactly are we going to watch these?
Well, that's a bit of a problem. Unfortunately, they didn't have a spare laptop to loan me as they're all out being upgraded, so...
That leaves my laptop.
Yes. Just out of curiosity, does that thing ever act like a normal computer?
Well, believe it or not, most of the time it's just a regular computer. It just has these hiccups once in a while, and, well, when you're typing into it, you just feel kind of icky. Yeah, icky like you're dancing on someone's grave. Okay, let's give it a try. This file encrypted, enter password.
Here, I'll do that. See, since this is legitimate business and I'm only being loaned these files, I had to use my personal encryption key for my family to get in here.
I'm not looking to see what you're typing.
Good, because if you knew, I'd have to kill you, or at least do horrible, nasty things to you.
How do you make a threat sound enticing like that?
It's one of my many graces.
Yeah.
Here.
Thanks. So, what are we looking at?
Well, this is file 1 of 14, as you can see. Security cam footage for the era. Black and white, no sound. It just records the day-to-day activities.
Hey, I recognize these people.
That's right. They were in the vision we had at the Blackpool Dynamics office.
Seems normal enough. I mean...
Yeah, you can fast forward through it if you want. It just shows a 24-hour cycle. Nothing out of the ordinary, I suppose. Unless we went through it with a fine-tooth comb, I don't know that we'd find anything.
Great, going through 2 weeks of security cam footage. That sounds absolutely riveting. They all like this?
As near as I can tell, all except for the last one. Why don't you skip to that?
This one on the bottom of the playlist?
Right, click that one.
Okay.
Now, as you can see, it's just like all the others, but this is the last day of normal operations for Blackpool Dynamics.
All right.
Now, the videos go in a 24-hour loop cycle. They start from when the doors open to the office to when the doors open to the office the next day.
Okay.
Now, nothing unusual happens during the workday, but grab the playhead and scrub it over to hour 20.
All right. So that puts it at about 4 a.m.
Right. Now watch.
Okay, it's just empty offices.
Wait for it.
Whoa, what happened?
Camera goes completely black. Now scrub it ahead 2 hours.
Okay. Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus, the place has been ransacked.
Somebody managed to turn off the cameras somehow, get in there, and clear the entire office of any official information in under 2 hours.
That's pretty fast work.
It's more than that. These cameras are supposed to be tamper-proof, both electronically and magically.
Yeah, but if you have enough resources, I suppose you can knock out a camera for a couple of hours.
It wasn't just one camera, Hanover. I checked with the security archivist. He told me that every camera in the building at that time suffered a 2-hour malfunction.
All of them?
All of them.
That's a pretty major operation.
That's the sort of operation that most military units would kill to have. What the hell was in there that was so important that Astra would go to that much trouble?
What's Astra got to do with anything?
According to Rayburn, they're the ones who bought Blackpool, and they happen to employ Croyce and Trevor. Really? Looks like someone's just stirred a little cornstarch into the plot.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell us anything. All this does is confirm everything we've already known up to a certain point, and all of this information we have here contradicts everything we saw in the vision back in the Blackpool offices, so what the hell?
Yes, well...
I think the only thing we can do at this point is turn to the other plan, which is try and track down the people who worked in that office and see what they knew.
Yes, and that brings me to the part I didn't want to talk to you about over the phone.
Huh?
Thanks to Conroy, I managed to procure this. It's a list of all of the people who worked in that office at the time.
All right, cool. Well, so how do we start on this bad boy?
Well, that will be a question for the ages, I'm afraid.
What?
Look at the current status on all of those people.
This can't be true.
We verified it.
They're all deceased?
All 20 of them, down to the last one.
Now, I want you to look at this. What is it?
This is the former employee list for Tierra Distributions Limited, one of the other companies mentioned on the Ave Nova brochure.
All dead.
And the same goes for Cleve Publishing and Titus Storage, 10 and 15 dead, respectively. It's repeated across several other companies on the list. I could give you the details, but I don't think it's necessary, just that you know that in total 122 people have died.
What of?
What didn't they die of? Natural causes, illness, accidents, suicide, at least 2 murders. All of it happening over a 10-year period, and all of the companies were purchased by different companies. There's no thread running through them.
Except that they were all on that list. What the hell are we dealing with?
Other than something very bad, I have no idea.
All right, I'm going to call Rayburn back. I need to tell him about this. He's going to want to know.
You better give me the flash key. I'm going to have to turn that back in.
All right, let me just shut down the viewer. Wait a minute. What's wrong? You said you had video files for the last 14 days of Blackpool's operation?
That's right, I put them on there myself.
So what's this last one, then?
I don't know, what's the title of it?
It doesn't have a title. I mean...
Play it, then.
All right. It's just the Blackpool offices again. Only the employees are all just sitting at their desks staring straight ahead.
Hanover?
And now they've all just turned and looked at the camera.
Hanover, look at the timestamp.
What?
The timestamp on the video, look at it.
What?
It's today's date.
Didn't you say these cameras had no sound on them?
No, they don't.
Then why does this one have a mute button turned on?
I don't know. Maybe you should turn it on.
All right.
Oh, God. What is this? What's happening? I don't know.
Listen.
Oh no. Oh, no. It can't be. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God! Turn it off. Please turn it off. Right.
What did we just see? What's it doing?
It says it's establishing a connection.
To what? I didn't ask it to do anything.
File uploading.
What file? I didn't ask it to upload a file.
Turn it off.
Turn it off! I can't! Everything's locked up! Go pull out the battery or something! It's stuck! I can't move it!
Are you alright? I think so. What the hell did it just do? Hanover, look out the window. The lights in the city are flicking on and off.
Like a wave moving away from us.
What the hell was it?
I don't know. But I think we just turned it loose.
It's on the hour, every hour, right here on Baylor One.
Welcome to Baylor One News. I'm Yeardley Smythe, sitting in for Jacarando Cheese. The city of Baylor's digital infrastructure is suffering major failures and malfunctions due to what experts are calling a massive viral infection. Major utility loss is widespread across much of the metro area, and at least 14,000 residents are still without power since early last night. Kevin Feller is live with the story.
Thanks, Yardley. At a major press conference this morning, social and corporate representatives tried to assure the public that they were doing everything within their power to bring the situation under control.
Well, this is a very serious situation, as the public does know, but they should also know that the best people in our company and companies all across our city are working non-stop to purge this viral infection from the city's infrastructure. And I might add that we are also working alongside the authorities to make sure to hold responsible those responsible for it.
One aspect making the situation more difficult for experts is the strong supernatural component to this virus. Reports are coming in for businesses and homes from all around the city of computer screens suddenly lighting up with disturbing images, screams being emitted from inside processors, blood coming out of hard drives, and pop-up screens advertising penis enhancements for the price of the consumer's soul. This is Kevin Feller, live from the Baylor Courthouse.
Please stay tuned to Baylor One. We'll update you on this story as it develops. And now back to Morning Jolt with Palin Stokes, right here on Baylor One.
My. All right. How's that for a wake-up call then, eh? Hey, are you listening, boffins? Hello. I know you're out there. I can hear the groans from here. Well, we have some strange goings-on, or stranger than usual anyway, in the city of tomorrow. But if you have any eye on the pavement report you'd be willing to impart before I continue to turn you upside your collective heads, feel free to give me a jingle here in the studio. Let's see you put those fuzzy powers of observation to some productive use, besides trying to spot an opening into someone's thong, if you know what I mean. In a minute, weather and club happenings. Only the cream and only the best shows make the cut. So get those PDAs ready. Oh, looks like we have a call already. Line 1, you're on the air. Give us a page from the X-Files, why don't you?
Am I on?
And that's for us to judge, my boy. What's your name?
Okay. This is Flipper from Intertech Dorm 5. I have a theory about what happened last night. I got it all worked out.
Lay it on us. We are all audio receptors, good sir.
Okay. For years now, I've spotted a pattern that proves the use of broadband wireless scanners in conjunction with nanotechnology mind control devices being added to our energy drinks. The corporate puppet masters are attempting to use the internet-enabled malware to compel us to buy their products and ultimately turn us into mindless consumer slaves.
Lovely. Sounds like you've got a clean head start on the mindless part.
No, it's true. I've seen the documents and my friend has to prove it. I am serious. Now let me finish. For too long we have yoked to the bloody cart of the corporate
Before you continue, do you use the normal bake foil for the headwear, or do you order some sort of special industrial grade stuff?
Huh? Oh, I don't wear wear tinfoil hats.
That's good to hear. Silver is so last month.
It's Mylar. Everybody knows metal-based foil is useless. Anyway, they started putting nanorobots in our Red Bulls about 10 years ago, and there's been a long-term plan to let them build up in our vital fluids and spread them through sexual intercourse.
Spectacular! Well, thanks for the call there, Flip. Let us know when the meds kick in or the blokes with the restraints show up. In the meantime, consider switching to decaf. Line 2.
The only way to remove the nano mind control robots is drink orange
Line 3.
with non-lethal amounts of radium or an enema with a magnetized iron filing.
Will you get off my phone?
No way, corporate toady. I have control now. My little own invention. I've hijacked your system. The world will know the truth.
Ah, bloody boffins!
Well, you did say you wanted to make a major impact on Baylor. I never said that. In fact, I never said anything of the sort. Well, no, you didn't. But if you had, mission accomplished. So, any luck figuring out what happened? Well, as near as I can figure, whatever that thing was must have piggybacked itself right into the laptop while we were having that experience at the Blackpool Dynamics office. And you never noticed it getting into the computer? Well, I can't say I was particularly looking for it, was I? But whatever it was, it also did a really good job of hiding its tracks on the way in, anyway. But not on the way out. Oh, no. The activity monitor on the computer has a really good record of that. A 65 gigabyte file in under 3 seconds. 65? Uh-huh. Ooh, no wonder it blew out the wireless. Yeah. And the TV. And the window. Which reminds me, do we have to pay for all those damages? No, Metadyne's insurance covers it. Corporate structure does have its perks. Yeah, except Rayburn hit the friggin' roof. So what about the laptop? Did it take any damage? No, it's functioning normal. Well, what passes for normal for it, anyway. It crisped your flash key, though. Sorry about that. Ew. Well, it's probably for the best. I just saved my family the trouble of erasing it anyway. So it shows us a vision. It actually, for all intents and purposes, sends us back in time. Gives us this horrible vision full of lies, evidently, just so it can piggyback itself onto the computer and then launch itself at the city? Makes no sense. And then why show us that last vision of all those poor employees trapped in that office with that thing coming through there? Why go to all that trouble to lie? You're thinking it's a metaphorical vision, aren't you? There's a certain internal dreamlike consistency to it, you have to admit. So if we can hash out the symbolism of these visions, then maybe we can figure this out? Possibly. I don't know, Hanover. Why would it go to all that trouble just to leave a trail for us to follow? I don't think it did. I think the laptop is interpreting this for us. Oh, please, you think that thing is on our side all of a sudden? Well, it protected itself from being stolen from us. It's given us warnings in the past and now. I'm not sure it ever wasn't on our side, just in its own twisted, evil little way. Maybe. Unless that was its function all along. That it turned the thing loose deliberately at the most opportune moment. More than that, how paranoid do you want me to get? Feel free to go as black helicopter as you want, Nero. Well, Trevor and Croyce think that Metadyne, and by extension us, are the bad guys here, and that the laptop is the key to the whole thing. And what if they're not wrong? You mean that Metadyne actually wants all of this to happen? I know. Metadyne is a paragon of corporate ethics. They've always have been, but you know how power is. Yeah, but I don't see what the company could possibly gain from any of this. On the other hand, Rayburn was mentioned in the vision. I think we need to arrange a little meet and greet with our competition. What do you think? I'll see what I can do to set it up. Cool. I just hope you're right about one thing, Hanover. What? About that vision being metaphorical. You mean all the Blackpool employees on that video? I mean all the dead Blackpool employees on that video. Yeah. Me too. The Account, A Tale of the Waking World. Relic Skies, Part 5. Phillips Tool and Die. I'd rather not do either. How can I help you?
I'll see what I can do about that. Are you in position?
I'm pretty much out of every line of sight there is.
Good. The cafe court is corporate neutral ground. Agents won't be able to move against each other without damaging their reputation.
So why have me so far out of sight then?
Croyce mostly. He's probably scoping the entire area, and I did a little background check on him. It turns out he's an Avis.
One of the Raptor people. With eyesight like that, it's no wonder he's a sniper.
With eyesight like that, he could probably pick out a target from a mile away and hit it without using a scope.
You really think he'd try to do that on an agreed discussion on neutral ground?
No, but we should hold on to every advantage we can. He's probably already spotted me, so he's on undoubtedly looking for you.
What about Trevor?
Well, Red House is buzzing quite a bit, so he has to be close by.
And you don't want Croyce giving away my location so Trevor can sneak up on me with that optical armor.
Well, I don't know about that. We did a pretty good number on that suit of his, and I'm sure he hasn't had time to repair it and probably can't afford a backup suit. Still, though, he's an espionage guy. That's not usually the only thing they have in their bag of tricks.
Point taken. Why don't we run silent for a while? Call me as soon as the meeting is about to start, and if anything goes wrong, hit the panic button. I'll come running.
Same to you, over and out.
Out and over.
Excuse me. Hi. Mr. Phillips? I mean, Sir Phillips? I don't know if you remember me.
Yeah, I remember you. You're Landau. You're Professor McCork's assistant.
Yeah, that's me. Listen, I'm really sorry to bother you and all, but I saw you standing here, and I'm on my lunch break, and I had a couple of questions for you. Do you have a few minutes of time? Because there's so many questions I want to ask you about Earth.
Look, I'm technically working right now. I mean, I really don't know that I have...
No, that's okay. It's really cool, all right? I mean, I didn't mean to bug you.
It's okay.
Seriously,
Actually... I may have a couple of minutes here before I have to get started, so if you've got any questions, I might be able to answer them.
Oh, thank you so much. You have no idea what this means to me. I am so fascinated by the Earth. There's just so much I want to ask you about it. It's like, I mean...
You really are that big a fan of the Earth?
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? I mean, come on. First off, it's like the human homeland. I mean, I was born here in the Midlands, but every human comes from Earth originally, so that's like where we're all from. That's like blows my mind completely. Secondly, that's where all the tech comes from. That's where half the pop culture we follow comes from. I mean, this is great, you know? I mean, I see it in TV and movies all the time. I've always wanted to go there.
You've never been, huh?
No. I wanted to go there before I came to school here in Baylor, but I couldn't afford the trip and the tuition.
No, that's too bad.
Do you ever go back there?
A few times, visiting family, that sort of thing. Not recently, though.
Oh. So, what's it like going back there from here?
To be honest, it's kind of weird. I mean, I remember growing up there a bit, like my early childhood, but most of my life's been spent here in the Midlands, and I'm surrounded by all the kinfolk, you know, all people from all these different species and races and stuff, so going back to Earth and just being surrounded by Earthling humans just feels odd.
If you don't mind my asking, what is it like being from there and living here?
Oh, it's... You know, it can be a little weird sometimes, but it's, you know, you get used to it.
So you get like a weird attitude from other races because you're an Earthling?
Not nearly as much as I get it from Midlands humans, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, you get this kind of vibe once in a while off of people like, is this guy gonna blow up and start screaming, or, you know, take my wallet, cut my throat or something.
Dude, I'm really sorry. That really sucks.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
I didn't mean to bring up any bad feelings. I'm really sorry.
So Landau, it's not your fault, really. It's just, you know, to be honest, I'm not in the right frame of reference and of mind to have a conversation like this right now, and plus, I am working,
okay.
So could we have this some other time? I promise, I'll tell you everything I know about the Earth.
No, it's okay. I'm really sorry about that. I really look forward to having that conversation later, but I'll get out of your way. I really apologize.
No, it's my fault.
Oh, wait. Before I go back to the lab, I just wanted to give you this. This is a ticket to the big party we're doing next week. If you're still in town, could you please come to it? I think you'd have a really good time.
Oh, sure. No, I'll try to make it. Could I have a, second ticket from Nero? My squire?
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I didn't even think about it here. Okay, yeah, here you go.
Thanks, and I promise we will do our best to make it if we're still around here. And
Sweet. All right,
wait a minute. You said you were going back to the lab?
Yeah.
The Metadyne lab?
Well, yeah, that's my lunch break is over, so I gotta
hold on. Are you carrying a laptop in that bag of yours?
Yeah.
Is it yours personally, or does it belong to the school?
Well, actually, it belongs to the school. I mean, I use it to run the programs for the planetarium projector.
Cool. All right. Is it backed up?
Backed up? Dude, are you kidding me? It's triple wireless backed up to multiple locations every 15 minutes. You won't catch me with my pants around my ankles.
Okay. I have a huge favor to ask of you.
Sure. I mean, if I can help.
All right, good. I want to swap laptops with you. Now, this is mine. It's heavily modified. It's a Metadyne job. It's got some really sensitive information on it. It's password protected. I'm the only one who can access it without the codes. Even so, please don't try to turn it on. It's got some really nasty, security system on it.
Okay.
And for the love of God, don't try to hook it up to any network connections.
Okay. What do you want me to do with it?
Take it to one of the secure tech centers. Here's my card. Give them this and tell them that I want them to put this in storage for me, and don't let anybody touch it, all right?
I'm going to take responsibility for that, for your equipment here, and I swear I will come personally and apologize to Professor McCork on your behalf if I make you late going back to his lab. Dude, you can totally count on me.
Thank you so much.
And don't let anybody see that you have it. Just bring it there, drop it off. All right, I will.
Oh, just in time, too. I gotta go. Thank you, Landau.
Dude, you're totally welcome.
Moshi.
Trevor and Croyce just entered the courtyard. You ready?
Am I ever? Be right there. Yo. Any troubles with this?
No, they both showed up right on time, as requested. You ever done one of these neutral ground meetings before?
First time.
Same for me, I suppose, but I've seen a few of them in my time. The protocol's pretty easy to remember. We all approach the table at the same time and sit down together. Don't make any threatening moves.
Sounds easy enough. Shall we?
Let's do.
Gentlemen, good to see you're open for a discussion. Oh, please, Sir Phillips, don't act as if we're equals. You're only lucky we're stooping to consider you peers.
Hello, I'm Croyce. Nice to meet you in person.
Hello. Hi. Croyce, I would appreciate it if you would not try to undermine my upper hand at every opportunity.
I was just showing professional courtesy.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Still, I suppose I should give the two of you credit where credit is due. Astra isn't exactly loose-lipped about the location of their espionage agents, so the fact that you tracked us down and delivered a message to us is somewhat impressive.
I just wrote on the wall of your MySpace page.
We don't have a MySpace. Croyce?
What? I thought it'd be a good way to keep contact with people.
That's what LinkedIn is for.
Oh, LinkedIn's no fun. Besides, we got like 500 friends.
Really?
I mean, they're mostly mine, but still.
I hear Plaxo's pretty good, too.
Really, I never had that much luck with Plaxo.
No, me neither. I'll keep a profile there just to be on the safe side.
Can we get on with this, please?
Use us.
Sorry.
Nothing personal. He just takes his job very seriously.
Croyce!
Sorry.
You two called this meeting. What do you want?
Well, Trevor, it's pretty simple. We would like to know exactly what you want with this laptop of mine.
Oh, for Pete's sake, don't tell me you don't.
I wouldn't have called this meeting if I knew.
You're actually serious. They really didn't tell you, did they?
Professional rivalries aside, we might be after the same goal. We might be able to help each other if we knew what you wanted.
What I want is Ave Nova. For the last few weeks, the Astra Corporation has been plagued by an infection spreading like wildfire through all of our departments. It's left a wake of destruction, mayhem, and insanity among our employees, and ground the day-to-day work schedule to a bit of a halt.
I understand, and you see, this is where we can probably help you.
I would think you very much could help me, considering Metadyne is the one responsible for it.
Huh?
It first appeared in the offices of Metadyne. Were you aware of that?
Of course I was aware of that. I was the first person assigned to the investigation. That's why they knighted me and sent me out here. I had the most expertise.
Oh, really?
Yes, really. Metadyne was just the first one to get hit by it. It's angelic in origin.
Oh, don't be naive. Ave Nova is a carefully constructed virus released from the research facilities of Metadyne itself.
Really, Trevor? How do you figure that?
Because all of this has the fingerprints of Chandler Rayburn on it.
A human who spent the first
15 years of his career for Metadyne as a technological headhunter. A man who formed alliances with many small companies whose products could easily be adapted to corporate espionage. Experts and programmers lured away, non-disclosure pacts signed. Seems all a little bit under the table to me.
You're being paranoid, Trevor.
Am I?
Yes, you are.
Our research shows that you and your squire visited the former offices of Blackpool Dynamics.
What of it?
Did you know that under Rayburn's guidance, Blackpool was developing technology for Metadyne?
As a matter of fact, yes.
And did you know that all of the employees of that office were made to sign non-disclosure and non-competition agreements with the Astra Corporation so that they wouldn't work for them, so that Astra would not know what Metadyne was developing?
No, but that's pretty commonplace in corporate culture.
Well, let's try this one. Were you aware of the fact that all of the employees of that office, including its manager Donald Trent, have since died?
As a matter of fact, we're aware of that too.
Well, then I guess I have to congratulate you on the thoroughness of your investigation. I can see I have few surprises in store. Oh, one more thing. Were you aware that 20 years ago, when Rayburn was a headhunter, that his partner was one Donald Trent? I can see from your expression, Sir Phillips, that you would make a very poor poker player.
All right, I wasn't aware of that.
I mean, you have to admit all of that is a bit of a coincidence, don't you think?
Possibly. But we're getting off track here, Trevor. What does any of this have to do with me and Nero?
Yes, and Hanover's computer.
Here's another interesting coincidence, Sir Phillips. You had a meeting yesterday with Rayburn at a restaurant. Not a half an hour later, I was informed that another major catastrophic viral infestation has hit the infrastructure of Baylor. And at least one piece of very interesting speculation on the part of my company is that it originated from the hotel where you were staying. I've taken a bit of an interest in your career as a knight, Sir Phillips, and from Bell Tower right through Waterford and here to Baylor, you have brought a wake of destruction with you. Whether you're aware of it or not, and having met you in person, I'm willing to entertain either of those possibilities. You are spreading the Ave Nova virus.
If you had been there at Waterford with us and saw what happened there, you'd know that's absolute bullshit.
Well, I guess I'll never know, considering that no one in Waterford is willing to speak on the subject, seeing as Metadyne has moved in and invested heavily in the rebuilding of their town after an incident involving you.
That laptop is responsible for the spread of Ave Nova. At worst, you are a collusionist. At best, you're a dupe.
I assure you that you don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Well, if that's the case, then I guess I'll just have to find out for myself.
Hand it over.
Trevor?
Gun out, Croyce, now.
You know, I hate to bring this up, but this is a public place in neutral ground. We did have an arranged meeting here. You're breaking just about every corporate ethics rule there is.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty big black mark on your reputation there, Trevor.
The Astra higher-up's going to be pretty pissed with you.
Only if I were taking these actions directly on their behalf, Miss Guillaume.
You're working for a third party, aren't you? You're not doing this directly under the orders of Astra.
It's a loophole, I'll admit, but I'm willing to take advantage of it.
Trevor, is this true?
Croyce,
You told me that we had an official mission.
I said we had an employer.
This is extremely unprofessional of you. I don't see...
Croyce, the bag.
You're just being a cowboy, aren't you, Trevor? This is all just a conspiracy theory that you're following through on your own recognizance, so you'll look better to the higher-ups at Astra.
I assure you, Sir Phillips, all of the information I've conveyed to you is absolutely true. Go ahead and look it up. Or better yet, why don't you ask Rayburn? In the meantime, I have an appointment to keep. Croyce, the bag.
I do apologize for all of this.
Well, you did say he took his job very seriously.
Now then, thank you, Sir Phillips. You've been most helpful in my endeavor. And as for you, Miss Guillaume, you damaged an incredibly expensive piece of optical armor. I'm going to see that you pay for that.
Oh, fine. Just send the insurance claim to Metadyne with my name attached. They'll pay for it.
They'd better. All right, Croyce, let's go.
Well, that went awfully well, didn't it?
Swimmingly.
Croyce is working for an unknown third party. He's stolen your Ave Nova-infected laptop, and God knows what's going to happen when they hook it up to some sort of network to analyze it. Who knows what kind of apocalypse we're going to unleash on Baylor.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, now that you mention it, we're not even sure what Metadyne or Rayburn are even up to, are we?
Nope.
I mean, even though we know Ave Nova's been around for a really long time, you said yourself that it might be waiting for something to trigger it, to wake it up. Maybe Metadyne gave us the laptop on purpose for that to happen, which is why it all went to hell in Waterford, and why it's all going to hell here, isn't it?
Could definitely be the case.
And you're just sitting here, staring off into space, calmly brooding over something. You didn't actually give him the laptop, did you?
No, I didn't.
You swapped it earlier and it's off in a safe place now?
Yeah.
You probably should have checked that bag before he took it. That's a really amateur mistake.
Yeah, well, he's an eager beaver, isn't he? We should probably get out of here before he realizes he's screwed up and comes back guns blazing.
You're awfully moody for someone who's pulled off a pretty swift move.
When I talked to Rayburn yesterday, Donald Trent came up in the conversation, and he acted like he'd never heard the name before.
He's a CEO. He's not obligated to tell you everything.
I want to know what side I'm really on.
Fair enough. What do we do now?
First, we get some answers from Rayburn. Then we find out who Trevor and Croyce are working for, and then we get the laptop back.
Right. Wait, you already said the laptop's in a safe place.
I want the bag back. It's got all those cool gadgets that Metadyne gave me still in there.
Oh.
And I got some personal effects.
Right.
And some souvenirs we got from
Okay.
Waterford. Oh, and there's those free coupons.
Oh, all right. So, this is Metadyne Baylor's branch office building then, eh?
Yeah, very modern and tastefully sterile, don't you think?
Oh, I don't know. I like modern office building. All that glass and steel and all the light pouring in and very little furniture.
I suppose it's aesthetically pleasing in a sparse kind of way, but I kind of like older buildings.
Oh, don't get me wrong. This place doesn't have nearly the character or the history or the feel of an older building, but there's something relaxingly zen about it.
By zen, do you mean empty?
Well, I think by zen I meant spacious and contemplative, but I think I see what you're getting at. Where is everyone?
I don't know. It should be packed with people.
Maybe it's a holiday.
Not according to my calendar.
Nor mine. Well, there's a receptionist. Let's ask.
Okay. Excuse me?
Yes?
I'm looking for Mr. Rayburn's office.
Then you are?
Phillips. Sir Hanover Phillips.
Yeah. Mr. Rayburn said to expect you and to send you straight up to his office on the 15th floor.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, just out of curiosity, where is everyone else who works in the building?
Yeah. They have all been evacuated.
Come again? Pardon?
Yeah. Mr. Rayburn said that you would ask for clarification and that I should simply send you up. It would be quicker that way.
Right. So, 15th floor then?
Yeah. And now that you are here, I can leave and security can lock down the building. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye now.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
Don't you hate being late for a party?
Or tuning into a movie in the middle, yeah.
So, 15th floor then?
Or we could cut, run, and forget any of this ever happened to us.
There's a thought. Not knowing would just gnaw at me forever.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. All right, 15th floor it is.
So, 15th floor, huh?
Yeah.
You want a quickie on the way up?
Do I ever?
All right, then. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
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 Philip Glass.
Very good. I do the John Cage one, but I don't think we have enough time.
The Account, A Tale of the Waking World, Relic Skies, Part 6.
It's not exactly what I'd call a conducive working environment.
Guess we caught them in the middle of a renovation project.
I think half-built studs, drywall, and exposed wires is a little bit more than renovation. It's more like they're rebuilding from scratch.
Yeah. Well, the door at the end of the hall is finished, so that must be Rayburn's office. Let's go that way and try not to step in anything spackly.
Is Mr. Rayburn a fairly important member of the board?
Yeah, he's pretty high up there.
You think they would have given him a different office while this one was under construction?
Yeah, well, if there's one thing I've learned while working for Mr. Rayburn, it's that he doesn't like his stuff to move around too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why in the Bell Tower building, his main office is right across from the gym. He just didn't want to move it when they did the renovation.
Or maybe he just likes watching his employees be all sweaty and worky-outy.
I suppose. Actually, it's kind of hard to tell.
Why's that?
I'm not entirely sure Mr. Rayburn recognizes that his employees come in different genders.
Well, that's because from a job standpoint, they actually don't.
I really wish you would stop doing that.
Hello, Mr. Rayburn.
Ah, the lovely and charming Miss Guillaume. And the easily startled Sir Philip.
This is why I know you two are in cahoots, because there's no way you didn't sense him sneaking up on us, Nero. Honestly, Hanover, I never felt him coming. That's startling aura suppression. You really have to teach me that someday.
Oh, it's basic management training, my dear. Stick with the company long enough, you'll end up in that class sooner or later. And obviously from that expression on your face, Sir Phillips, you have something very, very dire to discuss with me. So why don't we do that inside my office where it's considerably safer than it is out here?
Thank you, sir. And as a matter of fact, I do have something dire to discuss
Phillips,
with you.
mind the barricade, especially since I'm not done putting it up. Would you help me with this, please?
Sandbags?
Sort of. These bags are filled with a silicone-based particulate matter designed to absorb magic energy. Here you are.
Oh,
thank you. Oh, do get up and make yourself useful, Phillips. She's your squire, not your pack animal.
I didn't say I wouldn't help.
Go ahead and ask. I know you want to. I have to explain everything else to you.
Oh, I'll ask. What's going on in here?
Yeah, and why have you evacuated the entire building? Well, do you remember that little incident yesterday involving a certain thing that was hiding in your laptop that got loose and started wreaking havoc all over Baylor?
Not sure if I... Oh, yes, wait, that one.
Happy to have jogged your memory. Well, it spent the last 24 hours, it seems, trying to infest and corrupt every major system it could get its hands on, figuratively speaking.
Was there much damage done?
Quite an extensive amount, to be honest. It's going to take a lot of money and a lot of hours to untangle this particular snarl. However, unfortunately for it, the corporations of Baylor are good for their word. And the programming cowboys and wizards we all employ are very, very good at their jobs. The people who infuse magic into hardware and who write incantations into the programs got to work immediately. They've patched and updated all the systems and driven it out and given it no place to hide. It has, in effect, no place to call home. Fantastic work, sir.
Yes.
So, what's that got to do with evacuating the building? Well, seeing as we've hindered its progress the way we have, it's a little bit, how shall I put this, steamed, and it's looking for a known quantity for revenge.
So it's coming to your office?
Astutely observed.
Well, that's odd. I would have thought that if it was going after a known quantity for revenge, it would have gone after Hanover and I.
Well, yes, that is why I called the two of you to my office, you know.
You didn't call us to your office. We came here on our own.
Check your phones.
Huh? What?
Oh. Look at that.
Yes, a text message from Mr. Rayburn.
Yeah, I got the same one. It says, come to my office immediately. I have no idea why I give either of you free anything.
Sorry.
In any event, it's got the three of us squarely in its sights.
Well, why you? I know why it would be going after us, but why would it have you squarely in its sights?
Well, why don't you have your dire discussion with me, and we'll see if we can come to a conclusion on that front.
All right, let's have that discussion then, shall we? Neither of you mind me. I'll just pile up the sandbags by myself.
Thanks, Nero. We appreciate that. Yes, it's good of you to offer.
Honestly.
Okay, first up, Donald Trent.
Ah, Donald Trent. There's a name I haven't heard in years.
I mentioned him to you yesterday.
Retroactive to yesterday. Happy now?
You acted like you'd never heard of him before.
My association with Mr. Trent is strictly on a need-to-know basis.
Well, I needed to know.
Well, did you find out?
Well, yes. Well, what's your problem then?
He's got you there, Hanover.
Don't help me, Nero. Look, the point is, it would have been nice if you'd told me.
Well, the world's not a nice place. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Trevor from Astra said that you and Trent used to be partners.
Back in our headhunting days, our job was to go around from business to business and see which ones would be viable purchases for Metadyne. We were friends in those days. We had a lot in common. We'd both emigrated to the Midlands from the Earth, and we were both incredibly ambitious. In fact, you might say Trent was a little bit too ambitious. Quite a lust for power he had. You see, he wanted to rise through the ranks as quickly as possible, and he wasn't
used to the way things were done here in the Midlands and corporations, as opposed to the Earth model. The ethics, the long view, the comparatively glacial pace of things. He made a rather unfortunate habit of irritating the higher-ups. You see, his ambition to advance was the thing that was holding him back. You see, if he had chosen to focus on his job as it was given to him, he probably would have gotten a lot further. Instead, he kept trying to bend the rules in his favor. If he'd stuck to one thing, he probably would have risen through the ranks even faster than I did, and I was considered a shooting star back in those days.
So they fired him?
Never got the chance. He quit long before that. He decided he was going to play the game on his own terms, that he was going to rise to the apex of a major corporation one way or the other by any means necessary. So off he went. Quite a shame, really. In spite of everything, he was a very good friend. I didn't see him again for another 10 years when he turned up in Baylor.
Working for Blackpool Dynamics.
In a sense, yes. But sometimes the truth can be so different from apparent reality. He took me out to lunch ostensibly to discuss the purchase of Blackpool Dynamics by Metadyne. We had a good working relationship with them as subcontractors, as you know. But I have to say the price he was asking was entirely too high.
You're not talking about money, are you?
While he was ostensibly the manager of Blackpool, he was associated with a number of organizations all across Baylor, and all across the Midlands, for that matter. I needn't list them for you. You can look up their names on that brochure you retrieved from Waterford. In the years since I'd last seen him, he'd been busy networking as a representative of a powerful organization called Ave Nova Incorporated.
Now, sir, if you don't mind my saying so, we have spent the entire time here looking for traces of the Ave Nova Corporation all throughout Baylor, and no one seems to have ever heard of it.
Well, perhaps they would have if Ave Nova ever had been or ever would be an actual company, but it's not. It's a cult. A cult of sky worshippers, in particular the starry skies and the gulfs between, and the denizens that lurk there, the Celestials. Donald Trent had been working with the owners of these small companies to prepare them for the world that was to come, at the hands of the angels. You see, he wasn't a headhunter anymore. Now he was an evangelist, and he had many converts. The cult members essentially turned their organizations over to Ave Nova, and then they would offer them up to sale to larger corporations. Once absorbed, it would give Ave Nova the foothold it needed. And very kindly, he was offering me entrance on the ground floor of his operation. He wanted to even set up meetings with the boards of directors. He thought he could persuade them. I still remember that conversation that night so clearly, even though it's been so many years. That look in his eye as he told me his plans. The wonder, the zeal, the absolute lunacy.
Is it safe to assume you declined his offer?
Some prices are entirely too high, aren't they? Of course, sticking with your principles can have a high price as well. After I politely declined his offer, he told me he was incredibly disappointed with me, and he hoped that perhaps with future meetings he could persuade me to change my mind. Later that night, I discovered for the first time what it truly meant to run afoul of the agents of the Celestials.
What happened?
I won't bore you with petty details, Sir Phillips. Suffice it to say, I've prayed for many, many years that I would never be forced to go through that experience again, even though in my heart I knew that confrontation was inevitable. But in any event, I managed to survive that first experience with the help and the resources of Metadyne. We marshaled our forces, and we set out to try and figure out who was infected by Ave Nova. Unfortunately, by that time, it was entirely too late. Astra had purchased Blackpool Dynamics, and Donald Trent had died. The official inquest said it was an aneurysm. I think he was just avoiding confrontation. He was like that, always had been.
Well, I suppose being dead would do that.
You think so? Do you remember the name Martha Greeley?
She was the Ave Nova representative at Waterford.
Defeated by their noble mayor. But she didn't die, did she? Not until you finished her off, Sir Phillips. Before then, she was badly wounded. She had to retreat into the mills and wait for an opportunity for her power to rise again. But she wasn't quite human, was she, Sir Phillips?
Hardly. Are you saying that Donald Trent is one of those things, that he's waiting out there somewhere?
The way I see it is, Donald Trent has laid dormant for 12 years, searching for an opportunity to stage a comeback. And Ms. Guillaume and yourself provided it for him when you visited the former Blackpool Dynamics offices.
How did we do that?
During your vision. You met him. You had a short conversation with him. And then he stowed away on board your computer and unleashed himself on the city of Baylor. And with nowhere left to run and nowhere left to hide, he's coming here for us.
That thing is Donald Trent?
Well, to be honest, I doubt that very much. It probably thinks it is. But the thing about the angels they always make deals and change the rules. Poor Don. He wanted power. Wonder how he feels about it now. And speaking of power, that brings me to part 2. Please don't tell us it gets worse. Again, apologies for the fragments of your bubble, but it gets worse. The being you fought back in Waterford, the Angel, although to be honest it wasn't truly an angel, it was more angel-oid. It drew its power from the remnants of magic left over in the tatters of cloth left around the mill town. That's not the case here, I'm afraid. So what was it, the components that Blackpool was developing? Is that what's powering it? If only.
Oh, God.
Nero?
Oh, my God, please. Please don't say what I think you're going to say.
I'm so sorry I do nothing but disappoint you, Miss Guillaume. Trent told me himself that part of the deal was each of the companies would turn all of their resources over to Ave Nova, including their employees.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, I'm afraid. Donald Trent sold the souls of his workers to the angels. And if our more esoterically inclined magical experts are correct, now that they've died, that thing that once was Don Trent is using them for food. All those people are trapped in a continuous hell of being consumed and reconstituted as a power supply. And they will remain as such until we figure out a way to set them free. Jesus Christ.
Fucking bastard!
Nero.
Why? Why would somebody do this? Why is it always...
Earthlings? That's what you were going to say, wasn't it?
Yes. But not in the way you think I mean it.
I understand if you don't trust
That
me.
isn't what I mean.
Oh, for the love of God, both of you were about to be attacked by a monster. You are a knight and a squire from the Metadine Corporation. You don't get weepy.
Well,
sir. I don't want to hear it. Let's pull ourselves together, shall we? First off, you, Miss Guillaume. I've done a background check on you, and I've spoken personally to your mother. And let it be known that while you have a legitimate reason for the way you are feeling at this moment about the subject concerning Earthlings, now is not the time or place to discuss them, are they? And as for you, Sir Phillips, your squire here probably hasn't told you the circumstances underlying her current behavior.
No,
and while I will not divulge any details, let it be known at least that it has virtually nothing to do with you personally. And furthermore, Miss Guillaume is your squire, and you are to trust her with your life. And you are supposed to trust Sir Phillips with your life because that's what you do. You're a squire. You are a knight. These are your functions, and you are to follow through with them if for no other reason than I'm paying you to. Are we clear?
Well.
Just say yes.
Yes.
Thank you. It's like I'm your goddamn babysitter. If you don't mind, we're supposed to be getting ready for combat.
Are you absolutely sure Trent's coming here?
Did you happen to notice the state of the hallway when you came up here?
Well, yes, the whole thing's under construction.
Then perhaps it wouldn't surprise you to realize that this building hasn't been renovated since it was built 12 years ago.
Oh?
Oh.
It's just like when we first visited the Blackpool Dynamics offices.
Yes, a change in apparent time seems to herald its arrival.
We thought the laptop was causing that effect.
Well, you're right. The operating system has a tendency to draw angelic power out into the open. We can interact with it then.
Doesn't that mean that they can interact with us too?
Yes, it's a two-edged sword, which is why it's imperative that your laptop never fall into the wrong hands.
Yes.
Speaking of which, I can't help but notice that you don't have it with you.
Oh, yeah. Well, about that.
Oh, for the love of God, now what?
Well, we wanted to find out what Trevor and Croyce were up to, so
we arranged a meeting and used the laptop as bait. Did it occur to you that he might try to steal it? Well, of course it did. And?
He did.
So our proprietary software is in the hands of Astra now. Well, that saves us the trouble of having to sell it to them now, doesn't it?
Well, technically, we found out that Croyce and Trevor aren't actually working for Astra at the moment.
So it's in the hands of a third party. Well, that makes it all right then. We said he tried to steal it. We swapped the laptop for a dummy. He's got that.
The real laptop is in a safe place.
Phillips, that laptop is a bit like carrying plutonium around in a lunch thermos. I don't think there's such a thing as a safe place for it.
It's at the Metadine Labs.
All right, fine. I'll let it slide for now, but the first thing when we're done here, you get that kit back. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Good. I wonder how those two found out about it anyway.
Well, frankly, we don't know. Trevor seemed to be convinced that Ave Nova was a virus created by Metadine and that Hanover's computer was spreading it.
Really? Well, I suppose he's half right.
What do you mean?
Ave Nova is a virus, a living, sentient entity spreading through all our systems, corrupting and replicating itself. And like any good piece of malware, it's opening doors to let something worse in. Speak of the devil.
Oh, boy.
I would get behind this barricade if I were you two.
Right, Nero.
Nero, come on.
Sorry. Mr. Rabin, you said that the OS from the laptop caused the manifestations.
Well, to manifest more fully, yes.
If we don't have the laptop with us, how is this happening?
Well, I've got it installed on my desktop, naturally. You two aren't the only ones who get to have fun around here.
Your idea of fun is weird.
Years of management will do that to you. Mind your head.
What's that? Well, it's a gun. Surely you've seen one of these before.
You're right, he really is like that all the time, isn't he?
24/7. And to answer your inevitable question, this is a prototype that fires explosive shells with anti-magical capabilities that are based on what we've learned about celestial power.
Slick? Yeah.
Yes, it is, isn't it? I thought you'd like that.
Will it work against Trent?
Haven't the foggiest. It's never been tried before, so keep your mental notes handy if we survive this. We just became beta testers.
Managers.
Oh, boy. I'd get prepared if I were you two.
Right. Ready for this? As I'll ever be. If we get through this, I'm going to tell you everything about my life I think you need to know. Deal?
Deal. I'll provide the dinner and drinks, and I won't even use the company credit card.
Very gallant, Sir Knight.
Here it comes. What is it doing to the door?
It looks like it's aging backwards.
Yes, that's not going to last long, is it? Besides the door and the sandbags, do we have any other defenses? There's an anti-magical force shield rigged across the door frame, but if I trigger it, I won't be able to fire through it. So let's save that for a last resort, shall we?
This isn't the last resort?
Oh, be imaginative, Philip.
Head down!
Oh, Jesus.
Hello, Donald.
Hello, Rayburn. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It certainly has at that, Donald. It certainly has. Well, bye now. Whoa! Jeez.
Nice one. You blew it halfway down the hallway.
Yes, it was rather effective, wasn't it?
Is it my turn to be the potty pooper yet? Because it looks like he's getting up.
Yes, well, I thought it might, seeing as the shot didn't blow him to pieces on the first impact. Unfortunately, this gun is jammed. It's rather a bad design flaw. Make a note of that, Phillips, would you please?
I'll write it down as soon as we survive. What do we do now?
Well, it's going to take me a moment to clear this up, so first, activate the barrier.
It's not doing anything.
Well, it takes a few seconds for it to warm up.
I'm not entirely sure we have a few seconds.
Then you better think of a way to stall him then, shouldn't you?
All right, first things first. Hanover, got a plan? A little one. Hold still.
What are you... Ow! Ow! What'd you cut me for?
So I can find you later. Don't forget about a girl, all right?
What? Oh!
Here we go.
Wait, what are you doing?
Protect Rayburn.
No, come back! Phillips, the barrier! Phillips, stay where you are! Let go!
All right, that's them taken care of. Now, fire cap into manic depression. Let's see how you like a heat blade. Come on, you bastard. Too slow. Oh, please, I hope that's not the best you can do. Hello. My name is Nero Tannhauser Harriman Guillaume, and I'm here on behalf of all the people who trusted you with their lives and who you betrayed.
I didn't realize you cared about them so much. Here, let me introduce you.
The Account, A Tale of the Waking World, Relic Skies, Part 7.
Nero. Where is she?
Phillips?
What happened? Where is she?
I don't know, Phillips. Now stay calm.
Why the hell did you stop me going after her?
Because if you had, you would have been standing in the barrier when it discharged, and we'd be burying you in 2 pieces right now.
What happened? Where is she?
I don't know. He slammed her into the wall. There was an energy discharge, and they both disappeared. This gun must have done more damage than I thought. Too bad it's useless now.
So you're saying he ran and took Nero with him?
I don't know, Phillips. He definitely ran, that's for sure. Whether or not Miss Guillaume is still alive is another matter.
No, bullshit. I am not accepting that.
Really? Well, it's not my place to tell you what you believe or don't believe, Sir Phillips. But until further notice, you are a solo act. Miss Guillaume is officially listed as MIA.
What? You're just gonna leave it like that?
Of course, I'm not going to just leave it like that, but I don't see what other choice I have.
We're supposed
You are to continue your mission, Sir Phillips. You saw what that thing was capable of, and I'm not even certain that was the full extent of its abilities. This has escalated beyond you, me, or Miss Guillaume. Every life in this city could be threatened. And if you don't mind my saying so, your squire may have just sacrificed her life to give us a chance at stopping that thing. Don't throw it away. Am I clear? What do I do? Good. You said the laptop was at Metadyne Labs. Get there and secure it.
Right. If Trevor really is working for a third party, we have to assume that it's the other side. And by that, I don't mean our corporate competition. So what are you going to do? I am going to stay here and trash the Ave Nova operating system. It's entirely too dangerous at this point. Then I'm going to send out a directive to all our field operatives and have them do the same.
No, you can't. Look, if the OS is the only way to interact with the Angels, that might be the only way to get Nero back. Phillips, we don't even know if Miss Guillaume is alive, let alone getting her back. However, you are right. Which is why I'm directing you not to destroy your laptop's operating system until further notice, or unless things get completely out of hand. Know this, Sir Phillips, if there is the merest glimmer of a hope of saving Miss Guillaume, I will take it. But by the same consideration, if saving the lives of 3 million people in this city means sacrificing her, I will not hesitate. I hope I'm making myself clear. Yes, good. I've been in your position before, Sir Phillips, more than once. Believe me when I tell you, even before the first time was too much. And I have been in the position that you see me in now before as well. And as much as I have detested myself for some of the things I have had to do, that's the way this job works. And I expect you to do your job, for yourself, for me, for this company, and for the people of this city, and for Miss Guillaume. Now go.
Phillips.
Rayburn here. GPS says you're right outside the Metadyne Labs, is that correct?
I'm out in front of the main entrance, yeah.
Good. I've had the labs evacuated as a precaution. There should be no non-essential personnel in there.
Good, that's good. I don't want anyone between me and Trent if he shows up.
Do your best not to fight around anything too expensive, if you will. Besides, Trent isn't your only problem at the moment.
What do you mean?
Security has images of Trevor and Croyce entering the building using the evacuation as cover.
Son of a bitch, they found it already. Who was feeding them this information?
Well, I'm not prepared to jump to any conclusions just yet. After all, we don't know that there really is a leak. And besides, a lab is a good place to hide a piece of experimental equipment. The most important thing is to get to the laptop. Now, where is it?
Well, hopefully it's in one of the security vaults.
What do you mean, hopefully? Didn't you put it there yourself?
The switch was a last-minute idea. I gave it to a research assistant named Landau Singh. He said he'd bring it here.
Wonderful. So you don't even know if it's in the building or not?
No, okay, I don't know that for sure. But if Trevor and Croyce are here, it's a pretty safe bet.
Fair enough. All right, let me look up this Landau Singh and the list of people who evacuated the building. Maybe he can clear this up for us.
Right.
Oh, lovely.
What?
Landau Singh is unaccounted for.
Shit. All right, what about Professor McCourt? Is he out here somewhere? Maybe he knows where Landau is.
Hold on. Also unaccounted for.
Damn it. How long ago did Trevor and Croyce arrive here?
About 8 minutes before I call you, so let's say 10 minutes ago.
Great. Anything can happen in 10 minutes. All right, I'm going in. Do I have any kind of backup?
Well, unfortunately, that brings me to bad news part 2. Before we detected the presence of Trevor and Croyce, I sent in a security detail to sweep the building one final time. They haven't responded in over 5 minutes.
So to recap, I don't know where the laptop is, I don't know where the person who hid it is, Trevor and Croyce are in the building looking for it, and I'm completely on my own. Did I miss anything?
Well, I suppose I could always lie and say no.
What else?
We're detecting energy spikes in and around the laboratories that are completely inconsistent with any of our experiments.
Trent?
Well, your guess is as good as mine, but seeing as that would be my guess, that's easy for me to say.
Doesn't Metadyne have any other knights to help me?
Well, none of them are in town at the moment.
Couldn't you just call them back?
I did, and it's taking them a lot longer to get here than they thought, evidently.
Why?
Phillips, the road is pushing Baylor away.
Good. Faded the entire city right on my shoulders. Just the way I like it. I'll talk to you later, Mr. Rayburn.
Over and out, and be careful.
Damn it, Nero, if I ever needed your help, I needed it now. You better be alive, girl.
All right. Now, let's go over the facts as I remember them. Running off in a fit of righteous frenzy to enact revenge against a horrible demonic monster, also to protect my charges, i.e. doing something incredibly stupid. Inflicting righteous damage, check. Getting my ass handed to me, check. Incredible flare of power, blinding pain, check. And here I am.
Now, according to all my theology teachers, the goblin afterlife is supposed to be... well, not the inside of a building, anyway. And not supposed to be quite so bruised, either. So, I guess I'm alive. All right, quick senses check. Dark, but I can see. Air smells and tastes of mold, dust, decay, death. And something else, something ancient. Everything feels cold and damp, and the psychic atmosphere is evil, hunger, despair. You brought me to your home, didn't you, Trent? What's the matter, no time to play? Little too time to gloat? Little distracted, are we? Thought you said you would introduce me to the souls you trapped. I hate when people can't keep a promise. Unless it's something I've done. Have I offended you somehow? Or is it something I'm carrying? Let's see. Manic depression is cold, so the elemental cap is worn off. May not even work in here. Red House is cold. Hanover's not nearby. Don't you forget about me. So I guess that just leaves you. Midnight lamp. Well now. Very tingly. A virgin persona blade. You're supposed to develop based on my actions. Well, barring the incredibly stupid one I just took, I hope. So, it looks like you're going to be my co-pilot, Midnight Lamp. Let's do a quick vitals check. Just as I thought. I'm dying. Slowly. But dying. So, whatever we do, we better do quickly. Let's say we have a sniff around and see what our host has to offer. Wonder what's out here. Suffering, despair, anguish. No wonder I sensed it. This is an office building. It's already hell. They don't have to dress it up this much. Or down. I recognize this place. This is the building where the Blackpool Dynamics office was. All this junk and dust. This place looks like it hasn't been used in years. I'm guessing about 12 years. Hello? Is someone there? Help me. Please. I can't see you. Help me. Come closer where I can see you. Oh, God. You're one of the Blackpool employees, aren't you? Oh, what has he done to you? Please. Please. All right, just stay calm. Please. Please. All right, please, let go. Please. Don't stop. Let go. Let go. It's like being grabbed by dry ice. Please. Stay back. Stay back. I will help you any way I can, but you can't touch me. Do you understand me? Stay back. This is your last warning. Well now, you really don't like this blade, do you? Behind you. Behind you, there's a pool of darkness on the floor. Look out! Don't step! Look out! Look out! Oh! Hello. My name's Don Trent. I hope I didn't keep you waiting long. Okay, needle, haystack. I wish they put a frigging map in these places. Where the hell are the vaults? Oh, crap. Damn it.
Rayburn here. What is it, Phillips?
I just found your security detail. They're sprawled all over the hallway on the first floor.
Dead?
Hang on. No, I think they're alive, but they're pretty badly banged up. A couple of them are burned, too.
There's a really strong smell of ozone.
All right, hold on a second. I'm going to mark off your current location on our map and send in a rescue team.
Yeah, with an armed escort, I hope.
Was it Trent or Trevor, do you think?
I don't know. There's scorch marks on the floor and on the wall, too. If it was Trevor and Croyce, I would have expected to see gunshots and broken bones.
Yes, and with Trent, you probably would have seen more damage. This may be our third party in operation.
Why would they be here?
Well, it would be easier to make the exchange there.
Or what?
Since the subject of the third party came up, we've been assuming that person has been outside of Metadyne.
So this is an inside job.
Well, it will go a long way to explain why Trevor and Croyce had so much information on you, Miss Guillaume, and that laptop.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. If they already work for Metadyne, why not simply steal the OS from one of the mainframes?
The only other people with access to the OS are top executives like me, and our systems are heavily protected. Yours is the only mobile copy.
Great, I just delivered it right to their front door. Shit.
Phillips, what's wrong?
I just heard something behind one of the doors here.
Do you want to wait for backup?
No. I'll check it myself.
All right, be careful. Backup is on its way. I'll be here listening.
Right. I swear I didn't see anything. Really, seriously. I swear. Lando, calm down. Dude, it's you. Thank God. Are you all right? Yeah, I think so. Okay, did you know what happened here? Can you tell me anything? I was coming from Professor McCork's lab, and I turned the corner and I saw these guys just lying here, and I kind of freaked out, and I thought I heard something coming, so I went and hid in here. Okay, so you didn't see who did this? No, they were just like this when I got here. Okay, McCork, is he still in his lab? Is he all right? I don't know. When I heard the evacuation order, I came to get him, and he told me just to leave because he was waiting for somebody. Did he say who? No, he just told me to get out. He was acting really weird. Rayburn, are you hearing this?
Every word. McCork's a meta-astrophysicist and authority on angels. If anyone's our connection to Ave Nova, that's him.
Landau, the laptop I gave you, where is it?
Well, it's in the vault. You told me to put it in one of the security vaults. I did.
Is it still there? Do you know if it's still there?
I guess. I mean, that's where I don't know.
Rayburn, laptop or McCork? Which one do I go for?
Go for McCork. Either he has the laptop by now or he's about to receive it. Either way, he's your target.
Got it. Landau, you said that McCork was back in his lab?
Well, that's where I left him.
Okay, good. Listen, there's a rescue team on their way to help these guys here. You get out of here. Just make a beeline for the front door, head out of here, and get behind the security barriers.
Okay,
just
thanks.
go. Rayburn, I'm heading for McCork's lab. You know where it is? That's where to send the troops.
They're on their way, Phillips.
Just once in my life, I'd like to be in the nick of time for something.
A young goblin lady. Now let me think. Did I have an appointment with you? Oh yes, now I remember. I was going to introduce you to my staff, but it seems you beat me to the punch. You've met young Rogers here. One of the best darn programmers I've ever worked with. Really hard worker, but then everybody here is.
You son of a sack of shit.
Oh, come on. It's all in fun. Besides, with an attitude like that, you'll never fit in around here.
Really? That's such a disappointment.
It really is. You would be a perfect fit for our team. I mean, just your strength alone impressed me.
Oh, really?
Well, let's be fair. Part of it is that blade you're carrying. It's doing its best to protect you from the effects of this place, and it's absorbing most of the damage. I mean, you should have been a desiccated husk by now, but here you are, standing in front of me and ready for a fight. And you want to know why?
No idea. Why don't you tell me?
It's your attitude. Right under that smiling, calm surface of yours is a maelstrom of white-hot hatred pointed right at me. And it's concentrating itself right into that knife of yours. Right now, that little piece of metal wants me dead as much as you do.
Well, at least the two of us are in agreement. That's good to know.
But again, it's that attitude that's holding you back. You'll never be a team player for us like that.
Before we get started here...
And you think you can take me? I like that go-getter spirit of yours.
Thank you. Before we get started here, I have one question. Why?
Why? Why all this? You really have to ask? It's got everything a man could want, don't you understand? Advancement, prospects, power.
Power. So that's what this is about, absolute power.
Of course. Well, maybe not absolute power. I mean, I'm not sure I can get that far, but I will take what I can get.
Maybe you've noticed your situation here. It's not what I would call optimal.
Not sure I follow you.
Oh, just the whole sort of laying dormant for more than a decade, crawling around in the cold and the darkness and the filth and decay. It's not exactly caviar and stock options, is it?
Yes. Well, my employers assure me that this is only a temporary job reassignment. I'm helping to lay the groundwork for this corporation's future, and you know you can't build a new world without rolling up your sleeves and getting dirty sometimes. But you know, it's worth it, because I'm doing my share, and when the time comes, I'll have an honored seat at the big meeting table.
And the people who work for you now?
Well, they'll be right along there with me, after a fashion.
They'll sort of just live on through you, I suppose?
Yes, it's kind of a broken egg omelets kind of thing. You know how it is.
I don't. On my blackest, most evil day, I wouldn't. I think even in the throes of the most fever-induced nightmare, I still wouldn't understand how this is.
Now you see, that's that attitude problem you have again. But don't worry, you'll come around.
Will I?
Yes, because you've got so much potential, so much energy that I could use. But I can't just take you away and turn you into fodder like I did these other sheep. That's because you're still alive, and you have that blade there to help protect you, but we both know the truth. This place is killing you. Every second you grow weaker and weaker, and with every struggle, you grow weaker still. And in case you hadn't noticed, which I'm sure you had, when young Rogers back there touched you, he leached some of your life right off you. That's what happens when these poor tattered souls encounter the living. Right now, that life force that you're carrying around with you, well, it's like a floodlight to 100 ravenous moths. And whatever they take from you, I just take from them. That's why I was able to manifest myself through Rogers after he touched you. And when all of your life force is gone, you're mine. Ooh, and on that note, I've got to go. I've got a major meeting with the higher-ups coming on. So I'll introduce you to the rest of the team, and they'll explain to you how it works. Bye now.
Bye. And here's to hoping they do an excellent job. Because if they don't, when I'm done with them, I'm coming for you.
Well, either way, see you then.
All right, Midnight Land. Let's do this the hard way.
Oh, Jesus. Shit, it's like a bomb went off in here. What? Trevor. And McCork? What?
Don't move a muscle.
Christ.
I like you very much, and I understand we got off on the wrong foot because we're on opposite sides of this little conflict, but I think this is a bit excessive even for you.
Look, Christ, put the gun down. You have to believe me. I just got here. I had nothing to do with whatever happened here.
All right, well, I like to think of myself as a reasonable bird, so why don't you explain it to me? If you didn't do this, who did?
McCork. Well, to be honest, Chris, I think we have our culprit right here. McCork. McCork, talk to me.
Voices. I heard voices.
Voices, huh? Were they telling you about the end of the world, something like that?
What?
Tell us what happened.
There was an evacuation order. I came to check on Landau. I left him here in the lab programming, and I heard the voices. They were yelling. It was Landau. Someone else. The other one was saying, that wasn't the deal, or something like that. And then Landau said he got everything he needed, and without any of the other one's help. Landau's voice was so harsh. It was so dark. I opened the door to see what was happening, and there was a man with a gun, and they both looked at me, and then there was a flash, and that's all I remember.
Croyce, was Trevor coming here to meet his contact?
Yeah, he left me outside to keep an eye out for things, and then I lost contact with him, so I came back to check.
Fuck. Come on.
Rayburn,
it's Singh! Landau Singh! He's the Ave Nova contact! I just sent him out of the building!
Are you absolutely sure about that?
I'm positive! He's got the laptop! He's working for the Angels! Intercept with extreme caution!
All right, hold on. Are you sure? Lovely. He passed through the security checkpoint. He was last seen headed toward the planetarium.
Rayburn, the planetarium has a star projector in it. I don't know what he's got planned, but it can't possibly be good.
I'm sending a full security force to surround the planetarium. Get there, Phillips, now!
Croyce, get these two out of here. Get them as far away from here as possible.
You mind telling me what's going on?
I'm not sure, but it's a nice day for an apocalypse, don't you think?
All my life I never believed in a place that I could call home. I was born where I was, but it was as if my heart was buried in a casket far away in a place I could never reach.
And even if I found it and unearthed it, it was in a foreign land. A place I could never truly call mine, and one that wouldn't have me. I could be tolerated, accepted, even loved. But I couldn't call it home. And it was when I accepted that hope was forever beyond my grasp. You found me. You sang me a gospel of old forgotten days, of eons past when the world was dark, and your kind descended from Relic skies and gave the world light. And you showed me how that light purified our flaws, how we were born again and made in your image, and how we fell. And you showed me how we could rise again, how we could reclaim the world, how we could take our rightful place as the chosen ones and rule forever in peace. I told you then that your words, your presence alone filled me with terror. You told me that God chose the things that terrify to shame the unworthy. You told me that if I stared into the heart of fear and believed, I would find myself home. You told me that one day you would stand at the threshold and knock. I'm here, outside the door. I have a key. I'm ready to come home. The Account, A Tale of the Waking World, Relic Skies, Part 8.
No, this is a highly dangerous situation. Tell your people to evacuate the area if you have to. Well, I can't give you more specific information than that.
I'm here.
Hold on. Tell them that I personally, and by extension Metadyne, will take responsibility. All right, thank you. Just getting some loose ends cleared up here, Phillips. Don't know what it is about a major public disaster that brings out the rubbernecker in people. Any information on Singh yet? Well, he went into the planetarium and locked down the building, and we're getting energy spikes all over the place, and they're increasing. Other than that, nothing encouraging.
Any of your people been sent in yet?
Perhaps I should have been slightly more specific when I said he locked down the building. Actually, we can't get the doors open at all. It's like they've been magnetically sealed and the glass won't shatter. Besides, if the condition of the security team we pulled out of the labs is any indication, I don't want to send in anyone who isn't specifically prepared for this sort of onslaught. Which is where you come in, Sir Phillips.
You're sending me in as a solo mission? I'm not exactly SWAT material, in case you haven't noticed.
I've noticed. I've made a long list of your shortcomings, and believe you me, that's the least of your problems.
Thank you.
However, be that as it may, when it comes to dealing with the Celestials, you and I have seniority, and I'm not exactly in the best of fighting shape. So, as a result, that leaves you. Here, put this on.
What's this?
Do you really need a detailed explanation for absolutely everything I do? I can't help it. I'm a need-to-know kind of guy. It's Kevlar body armor, naturally, but the plates and all of the fabric have been woven with material that disperses magic. I don't know how much good it's going to be to you in here, but better safe than sorry.
Well, I'm not feeling A, but I'm feeling B.
And sad as I am to admit it, we now have something else in common, Sir Phillips.
So do we have a strategy here, or is this a freeform session?
Well, I suppose I'm the one with the strategy, but it's mostly from the outside. I've got combat teams, snipers, defensive barriers are set up, and I have several mages around the building ready to throw up protective spells just in case. I have no idea what kind of damage will go on out here, but we'll do our best to minimize it.
Are you saying that's a license for me to go apeshit once I get inside?
The logical accountant side of me says absolutely not, but I think that decision is mostly going to be taken from my hands.
I'll minimize the collateral damage where possible.
Please do. And as for your overall strategy, just remember a simple adage.
Which is?
Use your best judgment and don't fuck up.
Yes, Mr. Rayburn.
Now all we have to do is see about getting you inside somehow. There are some security access tunnels and some secret passages the average person might not be aware of. With any luck, he's only locking down the entrances he does know about.
He worked here practically full-time, and he and his friends used to throw parties here. I'm guessing he knows his place inside and out.
Yes.
Mind if I try a more direct route?
I don't see why not. Give it a go.
All right.
Hey, Landau! It's me! Hanover Phillips! You said you wanted to have that conversation about the Earth. I figured now'd be as good a time as any.
Uh-oh. We'll take that as a yes. Guess it's just you and me then, Landau. God, I hate doing this by myself.
There's no end to you guys, is there? Come on. I haven't got time for this. Okay. Quick reality check. If I don't get out of here soon, I die. If they catch me, I die. If I keep fighting, I die. If I die, I become one of them. I can't even kill myself if I want to escape. And to think, all I wanted to do was help these people. Is that gratitude? And can I say for the record, it is officially unfair that you can come through walls like that. I don't care if you are dead. Okay, come on, think. Think, there's gotta be a trick. There's gotta be something you've overlooked. There's gotta be some way out. Get up! I'm not gonna make it. Sorry, Hanover. I told you to remember me, but when you do, that's all I'll be. Just a memory. Oh, no, fuck that. You don't give up. Hanover doesn't give up. Your mom doesn't give up. Your dad didn't give up. You're Guillaume. You don't give up. You die on your feet. Come on.
Nice to see you've been keeping busy, Landau.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I don't know, man. All these wires and stuff, it's a little bit industrial for my taste.
Stars. Can you see the stars?
It's a planetarium, Landau. Of course I can see the stars.
Orion. The Pleiades. It's Betelgeuse right there. And all behind it, it's the spiral arm of the Milky Way. This is what it all looks like from the Earth. Look! You said you'd never seen it because of the city lights. Look! Look at it.
Yeah, it's real nice. It's just a picture, though. It's no more real than a movie.
I was so hoping you would be here.
I'm guessing not just to show me the Earth's nighttime sky. What are you after, Landau?
The light from stars takes millions of years to get where it's going. These aren't stars, not even real stars. They're just memories. I want light. I want the real light.
Angels promised they'd give that to you, huh? Show you the true meaning of what? Power?
I wanted you to come here. I wanted to show you what it looked like from where man came from. I argued your case.
For what?
Don't you get it? The angels came to us. They showed us what we are. What we could be.
You know, I'm almost 100% positive that I can assure you whatever they promised you is going to turn out really badly for you in the end.
You are not listening! You have to listen!
Do I? Do I really? Because I don't think I do. Why should I listen to anything from you?
You used me. You lied to me. You betrayed me. You had me completely fooled. I like to think of myself as a good judge of character, and you seemed like someone who genuinely cared about people. I admit I can be wrong about these things, but not that often. So I'm trying to figure you out, Landau. What was their empty promise to you? Power? Because you don't seem like a power-hungry kind of guy, you know? You just don't give off that whiff. Knowledge. Now that's something I could see. You're a student after all. But if you spent any time around Professor McCork, and he is supposed to be a renowned expert on the Celestials, you would have known that everything they tell you cannot be trusted. Still, though, the lure of unraveling the unknowable. I could see that happening to you.
Shut up. You don't know anything.
Enlighten me.
Well, perhaps that's where I can come in and help.
Trent, I was wondering when you'd get here.
Oh, good sir, not please the murderous look in your eye. I assure you I'm only here to talk, so let's drop the hostilities. Especially if you ever want to see your girlfriend again.
Where is she?
Someplace safe, and there she will remain until further notice. Now, let's discuss my favorite subject, business, which we can do face-to-face thanks to that wondrous invention by your company. Ironic, isn't it? They built that operating system based on the knowledge they gained from us in an attempt to lure us out into the open. Well, it worked.
Oh yeah, the laptop. Out of curiosity, where did that get off to anyway?
Right up there next to the projector, all wired into this beautiful system that Mr. Singh designed for us. Now that is innovation. This boy has a real future ahead of him. Ave Nova can spot talent like that light years away.
And that's why you got him to join your little cult?
Oh, cult's a bit of a petty description, I would think. We're more like a vanguard. At least we were. We've moved on from there, but those were some good old days, laying the groundwork for what was to come. The truth is that Landau here sought us out.
Is that true?
I had to know for myself.
About what?
About everything, of course. The past, the future, mankind's place in it.
We were supposed to rule. We were supposed to rule all of it, everything. The entire world. All of the worlds. It was stolen from us. We got nothing. That's what this is all about. You know, I wondered, back when you gave me that ticket for the party you were supposed to be holding here, this big rave, you only gave me one, and I asked for a second one for Nero. And you looked shocked just for a second, like, why would I invite a goblin with me? You're just a supremacist. Another xenophobe.
You're wrong! That's not it! Of course it's not it. He just wants to see the Earth restored to its former greatness before the Great Cataclysm. He wants to return to a time where mankind held the promise of being one of the greatest and respected of races. Not the denizens of a powerless, cut-off world and a handful of refugees. Young Mr. Landau Singh wants to usher in a new golden age. He's not a xenophobe. He's a restorationist.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, that makes great sense. Yeah, bringing back the good old days, Landau. Yeah. Back when mankind had nothing but genocidal bloody contempt for the impure races and their human collaborators.
Be quiet! No!
Sir Knight, you're upsetting him. We can't have that. This is a delicate situation. Now calm down, my boy. There's no need to get upset. The Knight here just doesn't seem to understand.
Why are you telling me all this anyway?
Well, if you really must know, it's on his behalf.
Huh?
I wanted to help you. I wanted to make you see.
You're kidding me, right?
Not at all. We told him all about you, about the knight who was working against us, and how he was possessed of a certain technology that would come in very useful in the right circumstances. And then he found out that you were born on the Earth. Imagine an Earthling wielding the powers of nobility. A hint at what mankind could have been. But you grew up here, surrounded by the others. You, of all people, a pure Earthling, abandoning the glory of the human race for a life among the lesser beings. He had to try and save you, didn't he?
Landau, please say this isn't true. Landau, you weren't even born on Earth! You were born here in the Midlands! You look it! You have the Midlands look! You must have friends who are non-humans! You work with non-humans! You probably have non-humans in your family!
Shut up! I know! It was taken from us!
What? What was? You keep saying that, but what was taken?
Everything! We have nothing of our own. We have no inherent magic of our own. We've had to be taught by them. We don't have extra strength, power, senses. We have to rely on them. The human race is weak. We once had magic of our own, did you know that? We once had a promise of greatness. We lost it. Why? I'll tell you why. It's because we didn't stay pure.
Oh, no. Oh, no, I'd stay out of that part of town if I were you.
You should know better than anybody, Earthling. That's why they look at you the way they do, you know.
That's why they're afraid of you. They're afraid of what you could become. They fear you out of jealousy. No. They fear me because of humans like you.
Well, obviously we're not going to get anywhere like this. Mr. Singh, I'm afraid you're wasting your time with this miscreant unbeliever, and time is a terrible thing to waste. So why don't you work your magic and just leave him to me?
What exactly are you two after, anyway?
Isn't it obvious? Look around. Look at the sky. With Landau's modification to the planetarium projector, my powers, and your little computer, that sky is as real as any you'll ever see. Just contained inside this room. And you know what the miracle of the planetarium is? You can use it to reel back time. It can show you what the sky looked like 10, 100, 1,000 years ago. So Landau, why don't you take us back a few dozen millennia, to when the stars were right, to when the angels first fell to Earth. And in the meantime, why don't I hook you up with your girlfriend?
You said Nero was in a safe place.
Oh, she is. I ate her life. And I can't think of a safer place than inside me right now. So, let's begin. Mr. Singh, I'm afraid you're wasting your time with this miscreant unbeliever, and time is a terrible thing to waste. So why don't you work your magic and just leave him to me?
What exactly are you two after, anyway?
Isn't it obvious? Look around. Look at the sky. With Landau's modification to the planetarium projector, my powers, and your little computer, that sky is as real as any you'll ever see. Just contained inside this room. And you know what the miracle of the planetarium is? You can use it to reel back time. It can show you what the sky looked like 10, 100, 1,000 years ago. So Landau, why don't you take us back a few dozen millennia, to when the stars were right, to when the angels first fell to Earth. And in the meantime, why don't I hook you up with your girlfriend?
You said Nero was in a safe place.
Oh, she is. I ate her life. And I can't think of a safer place than inside me right now. So, let's begin.
You're lying!
Oh, do go on believing whatever you like, Sir Phyllis. You're about to find out the truth either way.
You're a dead man, Trent.
Been there, done that. Got the t-shirts and everything. Now, let me show you what I'm made of. I am the instrument of the stars. I am the burrower of light in darkness. I am as they remade me, as they gave me life. Now, do your best, Sir Knight. I don't expect much, but I expect nothing less.
You want my best? All right. Here it is. But always remember.
You asked for it. Burst punch! I was right. That wasn't much.
Sorry, Nero. I think somebody else is gonna have to tell your mom what happened to you. But I hope they tell them about me, too. Because I'm going down swinging. Account, A Tale of the Waking World, Relic Skies, Part 9.
You know, you really aren't much fun at all. I don't know why they ever considered you a threat.
Trent! This is really delicate work. I'd appreciate it if you didn't break anything important.
No, don't get all uppity with me, boy. I was just having a bit of a lark.
You're the one who told me how important it was to get this right. You're making it difficult.
My apologies, and I haven't forgotten how important you are either, so I'll do my best to make this experience as pleasant as possible for you.
Hey, Landau! That reminds me. You didn't answer my question before. What did they promise you? What?
Oh, stay focused, boy genius. I'll answer that for you. What didn't we promise him? The sun, the moon, and especially the stars. But most importantly, we promised him the future.
What does that even mean?
I told you we fell from grace. We were supposed to be on equal footing with all the races. We were supposed to be better than them. But the cataclysm came and it took it all away. We were nothing. We were refugees without a home. And then the road to Earth opened up again, and what did we discover? That the human race had languished for tens of thousands of years, rebuilding itself from nothing. Rebuilding itself to nothing.
Nothing! All that scientific progress, all that technology from Earth that you loved so much, that was nothing?
Yes! All those things that came from Earth. They changed the world irrevocably, but all it did was show me how far we should have come. We should have been as powerful as the eldest races by now. We were denied that place. We were denied that future. And I'm gonna bring it back.
You did this to him, didn't you, Trent? You and the angels. You twisted him around, didn't you?
It didn't take much. Oh, he started with the most noble and altruistic of intentions. To save humanity. But you know what they say about the pavement on the road to hell. All we had to do was show him our truth, and he came around.
Landau, are you even hearing this? He's admitting he's lying to you!
It doesn't matter.
You know, actually, I could be wrong, but I kind of think it does.
It doesn't matter. If the results are the same, it doesn't matter what happens to me. I've chosen my salvation. You should think about yours.
You've chosen what? What do you mean you've chosen your salvation?
We have drawn down the stars to this place, Sir Phillips. But when my masters arrive, their power will need a vessel. Hence, the sacrifice of young Landau Singh.
You can't possibly be serious!
Oh, I assure you he is, Sir Phillips. And you should be on your knees thanking him, for after all, he's doing all of this for you. Now, Landau, why don't you return to your delicate work, and you and I can return to our little game. Where were we? Oh yes, I was making half-hearted attempts to crush you when you were dodging my attacks. I think in an attempt to wear me down. I'm pretty sure that was your plan. I should warn you though, I have an awful lot of energy reserved. And your goblin friend's life added to that mightily.
You fucker!
Oh, too soon.
Well, come on. Finish it already.
We've taken all we can.
Really? You know, if this is what it feels like to be dead, it really sucks.
We cannot take a life that is not yours.
What do you mean, not mine?
We cannot take the life from this
Midnight Lamp. You can't take the life I gave to Midnight Lamp.
It has become your will to finish your task.
To kill Trent. To rescue all of you. It's not much, but I'll have to do.
If it sustains you, there may still be hope.
How? Tell me how.
We will show you. We will take you to him.
I can barely walk. I just... Ooh. That's a weird way to travel. This is the entrance atrium to the building.
Up near the roof.
What? It looks like a huge heart.
That is all that remains of him.
He drains our souls with that, but he leaves just enough life so that we may recover. And when we do...
He repeats the process.
Yes, but not this last time.
His masters are coming, and when they arrive, he will consume us all.
And if I use Midnight Lamp to kill him before then?
We are free.
Good.
But
there's always one of those, isn't there?
the will of your blade sustains what life you have left. If you killed him.
My will is done along with my life?
Yes.
We are sorry.
You know, there are a lot of ways I could go out in this world. Right now, I can't think of a better one. Besides, I'm not dead yet. And where there's life, there's hope.
And you are ours. Our only hope.
Well, I can't get him from here, so I'd better start climbing. What? Red House.
What is wrong?
It's my friend. He's close by. I can feel him. But he's dying.
Your friend is fighting Trent for his life, but he is losing.
You must hurry.
Right. You stay alive, Earthman. I'm on my way.
You know, as meager as a performance as you put in, I have to say I'm somewhat impressed. Any one of those blows you took would have killed an ordinary human, and yet here you are, still scurrying around. Bravo.
Yeah, well, at least I get the right to still call myself a human, don't I?
Playing to my vanity, that's a tighter trope than I heard one. As if I'd settled for something as weak and fragile as what it do.
So it really was all about power, wasn't it, Trent?
And there's what else again? Remind me.
They're liars, Trent! You know as well as I do! They're not gonna honor any of their promises. They're gonna leave you as their living dead pet and move on, because that's what they do.
I have bigger uses to them. I am their faithful servant, and I will be rewarded.
I gotta feel a little bit sorry for you, Trent, I really do. I mean, at least Landau here knows what's in store for him. He knows they're gonna use him. Like you said, he came around. I wonder if you ever will.
You know, originally I was going to send you to where that little goblin bitch went. But you know what? You've left a bad taste in my mouth. I think I'll just crush you now and be done with it.
Trent! It's time.
Is it now? Well, Sir Phillips, I guess you get to see the glory of Advent after all.
Landau, you can still stop this! No, I can't. It's too late to turn back now. Damn it!
Last-ditch attempt to smash the equipment. Very stylish. Now, why don't you just sit still for a while, Sir Phillips, and watch me burn the world.
I can feel it. They're coming. I can feel them coming down to touch us. I am your instrument. Show me what you promised. Show me the light! Show me our future!
Oh, Landau!
No. No!
And that was for Trevor.
Christ! Christ! The laptop!
What?
Shoot it! Destroy it!
I don't think so. You. Get over there. Oh, the higher-ups aren't going to be happy with this, that's for sure. No matter. The grunt work has been done, and a dead vessel is better than none at all. I suppose you thought by killing him you'd screw up our plans. It doesn't work that way, I'm afraid. I'm unliving proof, as you can see. And now, my lords, here is all the power I have gathered for you. Come down to us!
Come on, Guillaume, just a little bit more. What's happening? What's... Oh, no. No, not yet. Not yet, I'm not there yet. Come on. I can't reach it from here. I don't know what happens when I let go, Midnight Land. But you take him from here. You go right through his heart, and you don't let up until he's dead. Now, go!
Yes! I can feel you. You're here! I can feel your power! Come to me!
What's happening?
I don't know. Looks like he's having a heart attack.
No, there's a knife sticking out of his chest. Nero! Oh my God, Nero! I'm still alive. Yeah. Oh my God, why am I alive? I didn't finish him. Hand over. What? The knife. The knife in his chest. Aim for it. Kill him. Got it. Burst! Punch! Nero.
That stuff looked really expensive.
Oh, Nero. Oh, thank God. You're alive. I thought you were gone. We did it. We set them free. All the people he had trapped. All those spirits in the office. They're free. It's over.
Trent. Oh, this is far from over.
Here. Do you mind telling me what's happening?
Boys, get down. Nero, keep your head down. Where's that light coming from? It's coming from Landau's body. Nero, something's coming. Nero, stay down.
Landau?
Where he stood, I stand now. He is my vessel. The world shall know of my advent, and they shall sing my name. I am Jove. Terrazzo, attend me.
Yes, Lord. Oh no. I told you. We'd be seeing each other again real soon.
Hanover?
Yes, Nero?
You told me that sometimes when you were in serious trouble, or unconscious, or near death, you went to this strange place in your dreams, and there was this guy there in a grey trench coat who seemed really old and incredibly powerful. And you said his name was Luciano or something? Yes. Yes, I did. This is him, isn't it?
Afraid so.
Is this one of those oh shit, we're screwed moments?
This could probably be a case study. I was going to ask if this was bad, but I think you just rendered that query redundant.
My lord, you have arrived at last. I deem myself not worthy to bask in the radiant glory of your presence. I have sung the praises of my masters throughout this land. I have laid the groundwork for your arrival. I presented the necessary sacrifices so that your presence may be felt at last in this world. I am but your humble servant, and I await your command.
Terrazzo.
My lord?
Who is this?
His name is Trent, my lord, and he is counted among the faithful.
Trent. The evangelist. It was you who were given the task of making my advent possible.
I was, my lord. I have, my lord.
This form, it is damaged.
It was, my lord, at the hands of infidels who would destroy our work. But I seek no excuse. I was inadequate to protect your holy vessel. The fault was mine. I grovel at your feet and beg forgiveness.
Of course. We are merciful, and we reward our good and faithful servants. What was the promise of your reward?
That you would take from me this sinful, wretched body, and let me enter into glory.
We promised you ascendancy.
Yes.
Then, be it so.
I can feel it. How long I've waited. How I've waited for this power to burn away this foam.
Terrazzo,
Yes, Lord?
did he survive the ascendancy?
No, Lord.
Pity. He should have asked for that as well. Terrazzo, I wish to contemplate my place in this world that will soon be ours in peace. And yet, something troubles me.
There are interlopers, my lord. 3 of them.
Are there indeed? I hadn't noticed. Deal with them.
Yes, my lord.
Hanover, Nero, none of us are in particularly good shape after that fight with Trent. How strong is this guy?
Do you remember the strongest thing we've ever fought?
Yes, I just saw it turn to ashes in front of me.
He's probably at least stronger than that.
You really know how to show a girl a good time, don't you?
Well, look on the bright side. At least this'll be an experience that someone can tell someone else's grandkids about.
I just hope they get someone good to play me in the movie. You ready?
Not even hardly. Croyce? Croyce?
Oh, I'll get it now. She's talking about someone playing her in a movie, and you're talking about someone else's kids because you think we're not going to survive this fight. Oh, that's not good, is it?
I think I just got an insight as to why Trevor's angry all the time.
Oh, let's just do this.
The Account, A Tale of the Waking World. Relic Skies, Part 10.
So, looks like we finally meet in the waking world at last, huh?
Looks that way, doesn't it?
What's with the Terrazzo thing? You told me your name was Luciano.
I have no control over what others call me.
So why bother telling me your real name, then?
I thought you deserved a clue.
Really? Would that be like a mystery clue, or you think I'm an idiot clue?
If you have to ask. Zing.
Croyce.
Oh, sorry. So, what say we begin, then?
Hold it. Before we start, I have a question. You are just stalling for time at this point, aren't you?
Actually, I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing.
Business as usual, then.
Shh, I'm waiting.
Luciano. Terrazzo. You've been with me since I started on this quest. You offered me some pretty sage advice back at Waterford, back at the rest stop. Stuff that saved my life. You had a pretty vested interest in my surviving this long, and as it turns out, suspicions confirmed, you work for the Angels. So why help me?
Maybe I just found you amusing.
I'm sure you can do better than that.
I see. You want the truth from the champion of the Celestials. How about this for an answer? You survived this, and maybe you'll have earned yourself another clue. I hope that's enough, because it's the only deal I'm offering now. For real, this time.
All right. Just give the signal.
I don't work for you, but I'm willing to make an exception.
No. He's mine. Hanover, this is no time to be a heroic jackass. Let us help.
I said no. Terrazzo!
Yes, Sir Phillips.
You said you were the champion of the Celestials.
I did indeed.
Then that makes you their knight. So I'm accepting your challenge. This is between you and me. Leave these two out of it.
Fair enough.
Oh, Christ! No! No! Is that better? You have a long way to go. Well, look at that. You're still alive. So here's that clue I owe you. Don't die too soon. I'm still counting on you.
Have they been dealt with, Terrazzo?
They have, my lord.
Good. This vessel's damage is extensive. It will not last for very long, but it will be long enough for us to complete our task. Let us go, Terrazzo. So many worlds await us. So many things we must do.
As you will, my lord.
Phillips, easy. Listen to me.
Rayburn?
Yes, that's me. Now, why don't you sit back down on your bed? There you go. Surgeons did an excellent job of stitching you up. Let's not ruin their work, shall we?
Nero, where is she?
Miss Guillaume is fine. In fact, she was on her feet faster than you were, certainly. You've been unconscious for 24 hours, you know.
Terrazzo shot me.
Yes, you seem to have an affinity for taking bullet hits, don't you? Quite a trick that Terrazzo fellow has. Seems he's able to launch spiritually based projectiles from his fingers. When it entered your chest, it zigzagged around, avoiding hitting anything vital. He did the same to Ms. Guillaume and Croyce. Evidently had no intention of killing any of you, fortunately. On the downside, quite painful.
What happened to Terrazzo and Jove?
Gone, I'm afraid. There was a huge energy signature when they arrived. We tried to storm the building to get to you, but to no avail. After a bit, there was another large signature, and then the doors all came unlocked. We rushed in, found that they were gone, and found the three of you lying unconscious and bleeding rather profusely. Quite a mess in that planetarium. Was that all you're doing, or did you have some help?
Trent pitched in.
Ah, Donald. That pile of ashes with a vaguely human form?
That was him.
Well, I hope he stays rested in peace this time. Well, if you'll excuse me for just a moment, and please hold your questions for just a few minutes. Miss Guillaume told me to find her and tell her when you were awake. She wanted to speak with you personally. And I have information for both of you, so just hold your horses till then.
Mr. Rayburn, please, just one question.
Oh, well, suppose it was worth a try. What can I do for you, Sir Phillips, the eternally nosy?
I wanted to ask you while we were alone. Why me?
Why did I knight you out of the blue and send you on this mission?
Yeah.
It's an awfully good question. Our company already has several knights with a lot more experience than you, and we have a number of field operatives.
Exactly, so why pick me?
Well, if you're expecting me to tell you how superbly qualified you were for the position of knight and how you were just a natural the moment I saw you, I'm afraid you're going to be sorely disappointed. But your physical and psychological profile, that we always keep on all our employees, showed you did meet the minimum requirements. And while I get a certain amount of enjoyment out of cutting down my employees, there was something extra special about you, I have to admit.
Which was?
Back before I knighted you, when I assigned you to investigate Ave Nova, and you experienced the account for yourself firsthand, what was it like?
Weird, disturbing, not pleasant at all, but nothing else. I knew it was evil, that's all.
I remember my first experience with the angelic back when Trent tried to recruit me. It was like a soft, horrible lullaby, encouraging me to follow all my worst instincts. That my deepest, darkest side was in my best interest. If you've never experienced that before, you have no idea how comforting it can feel. That is the way that everyone who has experienced the Ave Nova account firsthand has felt. It drives them to madness and despair, non-human and human alike. Humans in particular. Humans from Earth specifically. And then there's you. For whatever reason, by chance or design, you, Hanover Phillips, are immune to its effects. I have no idea what that says about your history, your upbringing, your genetics, or your strength of character, but to be blunt, I saw an advantage and I took it.
Am I the only one who's immune?
Oh, I dare say no. There's probably others like you. And non-humans are more resistant than humans and Earthlings. In fact, Miss Guillaume seems to be doing quite well for herself. I often wonder what kind of coincidence it is that you found each other. In any event, I hope that answers your question. But just keep one thing in mind before I go. You are resistant as far as we know. That condition may not remain permanent. And if you are above the influence of the Celestials, that may be the reason your Mr. Terrazzo has singled you out. Now rest up, Sir Phillips, and I'll be back.
Terrazzo. Luciano. What are you counting on me for?
Where is she?
What?
Don't fuck with me. Where's Nero? I went to her room and she's gone. Where the hell is she?
Well, I don't know. Who the hell are you?
You the Earth guy?
What are you talking about?
The asshole from Earth who's been getting her in trouble. You him? Hope not, because I promised myself if he got her hurt, I was going to kick his ass in, and I really don't feel like beating up a gimp.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that. I guess you're just going to have to wait until I'm a little bit less gimpish before you get to work.
Fucking knew it! I knew this was going to happen if she hung with an Earther.
Hey, I'm sorry she got hurt, okay? Probably more than anybody. It's not like we choose the work we do, you know.
Bullshit! You probably sent her off to do the dangerous shit while you sat back and laughed.
Hey, fuck you! Who the hell do you think you are, anyway?
Jenkin Lomax. You know the Lomax name?
Can't say as I do.
Wouldn't expect you to. My ancestor was Genovese Lomax. He was a decorated general who led the army that was supposed to stop the violence on Earth just before the Cataclysm. He marched on you assholes with 10,000 troops to keep the Midlands safe. Never heard from again.
He got caught in the Cataclysm.
What do you think?
Look, I'm really sorry that happened to him.
You fucking should be. You should be sorry every day of your life.
Look,
You should have stayed back on planet Psycho with the rest of the crazies.
You know, thanks a lot. It's really comforting to know that Earth isn't the only place that racism likes to blossom anymore.
Fuck you. I got plenty of human friends, just not Earthers. Nero nearly died because of you. Another Earth asshole.
Yeah, well, we're all worth $1 million in prizes from there. It's an awful lot of anger directed at one group of people, don't you think?
I don't trust anyone from there.
Yeah.
Nothing good comes from there.
Really? Nothing at all, Jenkin? I mean, that's kind of a broad, sweeping statement, don't you think? I mean, was it all inclusive, or were you just being selective?
This guy is gonna get you killed.
Is he really? Well, you know, that's good. I've always wanted to know what the ending would look like, and now I do. Thanks for pointing that out to me, Jenkin. You've done me a great service. Now you listen to me. You know who decides my life? Not you, and not him. I do. How I live and how I die is my business, and no one gets to interfere with that. And if you have any inquiries or complaints about my lifestyle, you can take it up with me. Clear?
Clear?
Clear.
That's better. Now, if you'll excuse me, Jenkin, I'd like to speak privately with my boss.
Fine. You.
Jenkin? Yes, Mr. Lomax?
Anything happens to her, you answer to me. Got it?
If I'm to understand correctly, you'd have to get in line behind her mom.
Asshole.
We have a little bit of a history going on there.
You don't say. I could never have imagined.
How are you?
As good as expected, considering the circumstances, I suppose. Yourself?
Oh, not bad at all. Watch what happens when I sit down. There, you see, that's what a lie looked like. Tuck that in the back of your mind.
Nero,
if you apologize for even one thing, I swear I will find your most visible stitch and pull it out with my teeth.
I just... All right, then.
That's better. If anything, you should be pissed off at me for running off after Trent the way I did.
Yeah, that was pretty alarmingly stupid.
Yes, well, seeing as I wounded him quite badly, freed all the souls he trapped, and cut off his power supply, I'll stand by that stupidity quite proudly, thank you.
How's Croyce, by the way?
Oh, he's up and about. He's sitting with Trevor over in IC. I feel bad for those guys. I'm not sure they're going to have a job with Astra when this is over.
I don't know about that. I'm sure Rayburn had put in a good word. He did save our ass after all.
We lost this one, didn't we?
Big time.
I hate black marks on my resume. Allowed angelic beings to be loosed on the Midlands. I'm going to have to work overtime to make up for that one.
Yeah. So?
So?
I recall back there was a promise that when this dust settled, you were going to tell me all about why you follow me around.
It's funny, I don't see any dinner or drinks.
I'll just have to owe you. Don't worry, I am good for it.
Goblins are a matrilineal people, meaning we trace our bloodlines through our mothers.
If you ever find a goblin who has a final surname of Guillaume, it's because their mother was a Guillaume.
Okay.
Consequently, the females of my family are expected to have as many children as possible, so we basically have a choice. Whether to have them young and put off things like traveling the world until we're older, or whether to wait a bit, travel around, have your life experiences, and then have your children.
You chose to travel.
Goblins are all about building legacy through our children and through our actions. I decided to start with actions. But when my mother was around my age, she decided to split the difference a little bit. She'd already had one child, my older brother Simmons, due to a clan arrangement, kind of an intermingling of the lines, as it were. But after he turned 3, she was given an opportunity to travel for a few months that she didn't want to pass up. So she left my brother with the family and traveled to the Earth. Now, Earthlings in general don't know a whole lot about the existence of the peoples of the Midlands, so she had to travel in disguise. She wore a magical glamour that made her look human to all intents and purposes. And she backpacked all around America and into Europe. Now, traveling with a glamour is always risky because even though it's rare, there's always people who can see through it, and that can cause a few problems, as you can imagine, for a goblin. While she was staying at a youth hostel in France, she met someone just like that. His name was Jonah Harriman from Vancouver, British Columbia, and he could see right through the magic disguising her. But he wasn't frightened of her. He was completely amazed. To make a long story short, they fell madly in love, and they traveled through the rest of Europe together. She told me it was the happiest time of her life. But you know as well as I do, there are certain groups on the planet Earth who know how to see through magic disguises, and who are actively seeking the people from the Midlands, the ones who want to keep the Earth pure.
The Purge.
Yes, they were found out and chased across most of Europe by assassins. They decided to abandon the Earth and head for the Midlands. There are ways to get to the road from Europe, but he wanted to stop back in North America and say goodbye to his family. In England, on their way to Heathrow Airport, they were ambushed. He was hit in the head by a bullet that came through the open window of the car they were driving. She never even got to say goodbye. If you ever get around to visiting my mother's office, you will notice a map of Europe behind her desk. In it there are pins. Each one of them represents a place where she left a body of a member of the Purge. There are 73 in all. My mother was an assassin, too. It took her 3 months to rack up that body count. She probably would have gone on further if she hadn't realized she was pregnant. So she came back home and gave birth to me.
So your father was from the Earth?
That's right. My mother told me that the Earth is full of bad history and bad people. But if it could produce even one person like my father, then it wasn't beyond hope. And the road must have known that too, otherwise it never would have gone back.
So you decided to follow me because I was an Earthling?
Initially, yes. I mean, I've met Earthlings before, and I've even traveled to the Earth a few times, but this was an opportunity to study one of you up real close and personal.
I hope it was a successful experiment.
Oh, it was, because I learned something, and my mother was absolutely right. The Earth is capable of producing amazing people. That's why I never want you to apologize. I don't care how much trouble I get into when I'm with you, because I always know you'll do everything within your power to get me out. That's the reason I'm alive today. When I was in Trent's sick little world, I lost my life. All I had left was the will to kill Trent, and when I did that, and released all his energy, his world caved in all around me. I got sucked into a howling void of nothing. I could have been lost forever, but I tagged you with Red House. I could feel where you were.
I thought I'd gotten you killed.
But you never forgot about me. You kept me burning in your thoughts. I felt that, and it was like a beacon calling me home.
Don't be an idiot. Of course I wouldn't forget about you.
Once again, I owe you my life. But that's not really the reason I follow you around.
Then why?
It's because currently you're in the running for the best friend I've ever had.
Top 5?
Oh, yeah.
Top 3?
Work on that. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Am I interrupting a moment?
No, we just finished up.
Really? Damn, I'm losing my touch. In any event, since I have you both here, let's get down to business, shall we? You've both been stitched up and given a hefty dose of healing magic, so the good news is you will be able to be discharged from this hospital tomorrow.
That soon? Well, that's wonderful.
Yes, well, the bad news for you is that you're both grounded for a week. The doctors and the insurance companies insist that you get that much recovery time just to be on the safe side.
Oh, please, twist my arm.
Oh, we're deadly serious about this one, Sir Phillips. Don't worry. We'll have people watching you, so rest up for a week or you're fired.
Yes, sir. Right.
And I think the two of you have wrecked enough things for one outing, so I'm also giving you a week's vacation time.
No complaints here. Hold it, this is Metadine we're talking talking about? I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Well, here it is with a loud thud. Our entire corporation and all the other major corporations are going on high alert. Two beings of immensely high power are loose in the Midlands, so keep that tucked in the back of your mind during your recreation period.
Do you have any idea where Jove and Terrazzo went?
Haven't the foggiest, but don't worry, we've got our eyes out for them.
Well, we'll just have to get ready for a hunt while we're on vacation.
Afraid not, Miss Guillaume. I have other plans for the two of you.
Sir, this involves both of us directly.
Precisely, which is why I'm keeping you both out of the way for now. If anything, this last encounter has proven that neither of you are exactly up to the task. I have more powerful, skilled, and experienced knights and agents looking for Terrazzo and Jove, so don't worry about that.
Sir, you said yourself that Terrazzo's taking an interest in me.
Yes, doesn't that imply he'll be gunning for Hanover?
Indeed it does, Miss Guillaume, and that brings me to my next mission for the two of you. The Ave Nova account is still spreading from system to system. It's giving the Angels access points to the Midlands. We have to find its origins, and cut it out by its root. That was your task from the beginning, and it hasn't changed.
So it's allowing them to manifest themselves the same way the OS on Hanover's laptop does.
Precisely.
Speaking of that laptop...
I was just getting to that. Your computer survived the altercation unscathed. It does an excellent job of protecting itself. However, it's too dangerous to be allowed to continue in its current state. It attracts the Celestials and draws them out just fine, but if it simply hands over power to manifest themselves uncontrolled, well, then it's not much good to us, is it?
No, it isn't.
No.
So I've pulled the entire project down and have some technicians working on an upgrade even as we speak.
Let me guess, that will take precisely 2 weeks?
Well, I wouldn't want the two of you going around thinking I'm an altruist for giving you all this time off for nothing.
That's more like it. You were starting to worry me.
Thank you. Which brings me to the next part of your mission. Analyzing the data that the two of you provided for us about Ave Nova's initial contacts in this world, we've decided to send you to the next most obvious location. So during your time off, make sure to pack a few warm things, because your next stop is Easling, the mountain city of eternal winter.
You're sending us to Skyway? Dang.
I've never been there myself.
Really?
This is one of those cities on my list of places to go before I get killed by something nasty.
Yes, it's a lovely and interesting place, and most of it's indoors and temperature controlled, but I see how your adventures turn out, so that's why I'm recommending you pick up the thermal gear. Just make sure you keep the receipts and file the proper paperwork for reimbursement.
So Ave Nova has its hooks in there too?
Yes, it seems that way, but that's not the only reason I'm sending you there, Sir Phillips. Oh, yes. As Miss Guillaume pointed out, Terrazzo and Jove are most likely gunning for you. And while I don't think I've underestimated you as a knight, your power is another story altogether. So when you get to Easling, you're going to be rendezvousing with a special contact I've arranged. A person who specializes in the development and training of knights, so I'm afraid your experience there is going to be far from restful. Because you see, your equipment is getting an upgrade, Sir Phillips, and so are you.
To be honest, I'm looking forward to it, sir.
Glad to hear it. Now, both of you back to your beds and rest up, or I'll kill you.
Sir?
Yes, one more question, Phillips. What is it?
Landau Singh.
Ah, yes. He didn't have much of a family, but we are contacting them. I don't know if it'll give them any sense of closure, but they deserve to know. As do all the rest of the worlds. As soon as we have a concise package of information, we are going public with all of this, if for preparedness' sake alone. If the Angels are planning to invade the Midlands, well, they're going to have quite the fight on their hands.
Aren't you worried that might turn public opinion against Earthlings?
In the Midlands? I'm surprised at you, Miss Guillaume. Earthlings are as much a victim of the Angels' machinations as anyone, more so, in fact. If anything, I expect the Earth to be a rallying point. Now, if the two of you will excuse me, I have work to do.
You should get some rest. You owe me dinner and drinks tomorrow.
I will. Thank you.
You're always welcome.
Looks like everybody's counting on me now.
All right, geeks, nerds, hackers, slackers, and gearheads. It's 20 past the hour. We have party news. Only the best party and club info beats it past the filter here on Baylor 1, so keep your PDAs at the ready, because I am not saying this twice. Okay, maybe twice, but you'll have to beg. For those looking forward to the annual Metadine annual post-exam shindig at the Emden Campus Planetarium, you're sadly out of luck. An unforeseen accident has closed the facilities until further notice, pending an investigation. Yes, I know. What am I gonna do? Get over it, boffins! There's plenty of Bacchanal where that came from. This, of course, is Baylor. When we get weepy over one party and can't find somewhere to pickle our troubles, then we may as well pack it in and join a bloody nunnery. So no tears, Team Metadine. We at Baylor 1 have got your back. Top 5 club schedule listings coming up in 5 minutes, so keep the panic at bay. I am Dokes, and we'll be right back after this.
Baylor 1
Baylor One News. The incident at the Metadine Campus Planetarium that claimed the life of one research student is still currently under investigation. Metadine officials say that a full disclosure will be released in a press conference today. Experts claim there is a connection between that incident and the incidents of power and system failures that have plagued the city for the last 2 days. Other experts writing up the team. You have been listening to The Account, A Tale of the Waking World, Relic Skies, Part 10. Written and performed by Cayenne Chris Conroy for the Technical Difficulties podcast. The part of Jenkin Lomax was played by Dan Gould, and the part of Dokes the DJ was played by Tom Campbell. Tom Campbell can be reached at tontocampbell.blogspot.com. Send us a Gmail at techdiff@gmail.com or go over to techdiff.com to leave a comment on this episode, or follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/techdiff. Also techdiff.freeforums.org for the discussion boards. Thank you very much for listening. But before I go completely, Nero here is going to help me with something.
Hello, sexy goblin fans.
I had no way of bringing up this factoid in my story, but I thought it was interesting enough, and people are probably going to ask questions. So, Nero.
Yes.
You are a goblin.
That's correct.
And we also established in this episode that your father was a human from Earth.
Also correct.
So does that in fact make you a half-human, half-goblin?
Nope, that makes me 100% goblin. This is how it works in the waking world. Most of the races of the worlds can interbreed with one another, but there are no hybrids. The species of the mother determines the species of the child.
So since my mother was a goblin, I have the pointed ears and the tail and the pointy teeth and the mane and all the other things that go along with being a goblin.
But even though I'm not human, if I was standing next to my human father, you could clearly see the resemblance in the eyes or in the nose or something else.
And if the situation had been reversed and your father had been a goblin and your mother had been human,
then I would be and look 100% human, but my goblin father and I would share a distinct resemblance.
Thanks for clearing that up for us, Nero.
You're welcome, and you owe me a drink now.
I always do. Anyway, thanks so much for listening to The Account, you guys. I've had a great time doing this particular story arc, and I hope you enjoyed it, listening to it as much as I enjoyed performing it. Big shout out again to my 3 guest stars for this show, Tom Campbell, Dan Gould, and Anthony Anselmo. The Waking World and The Account storyline have really taken off, and I'm going to have some news very soon about how it may expand to an even larger audience, so stay tuned for that. So, the next question is, what's next for me? Well, apart from Tweetcast, if you subscribe to the Twitter at twitter.com/techdiff, or something that blindsides me and I surprisingly put up out of the blue, you won't have me to kick around until December 1st when I start the TechDiff Christmas Advent Calendar. 25 straight days of the kind of comedy you've come to expect from me, though not for most of this year since I only did 12 episodes right at the beginning of the year, right into the summer. I'm going to start recording those right away, starting right next week. I'm going to try to have all of it done before December even gets going. So they're just in the can. I just got to line them up, then pop them out there for you to hear, to download and hear them and enjoy them. The plan is to take most of December off, or all of it if I possibly can swing it, because my wife has 2 weeks off towards the end of the year thanks to her job, and I'd like to just spend that time relaxing, getting the house cleaned up, and then spending 2 weeks with my wife as we relax and winter sinks in and we fall rapidly into the despair of cold that Minnesota is. But then, right after New Year's, I get straight to work on the next series of Technical Difficulties, so you'll be hearing the first episode of that by the end of the first week of January. I'm not sure if it's going to be 6 or 8 episodes this time, but I figured let's just strike down while the iron is hot. I'm going to get right in, record them that week and do them instead of recording them in advance. That was fine, but it didn't actually work out, and anybody who knows anything about deadlines knows that the project sort of expands to fill up the deadline. So even though I started it in January, I finished it in like late May, and I was still recording stuff right up to the end. So it didn't really save me any trouble. I may as well just do them that week and just get them up as quickly as I do them. So I'm going to do that, and then in March, the next series of The Account. And then after that run, I'm not sure how long that run's going to be. This originally wasn't supposed to be as long as it was. It was going to be a lot shorter. It was actually going to be quite different. But hey, that's how writing goes when you get the resources and people show up and you try to figure out who you can get as actors and stuff, and then we just sort of write to whatever strength you can find as a result. This was supposed to be about 6 to 8 episodes. Wound up being 10. There you go. That's how it works out. So I'm not sure exactly how many episodes of The Account there's going to be starting in March. And then after that, I'm going to do some more comedy, but I have to try another. I promise, I keep promising, every damn year I'm going to try something else entirely, and I am going to do my best to try and get up something between The Account and the next series of Tech Diff.
I'm going to try and get something out there that's different, really different, like a play of some kind, just some sort of thing that I've been trying to work out. I got a bunch of ideas lined up, a bunch of stories, and I want to try something a little more out there, as it were. Anyway, that's enough for the blathering of me. Please send me a message at techdiff@gmail.com if you enjoyed this. Tell your friends, spread the word around, and thank you so much again for listening. And I've really enjoyed entertaining you with my story here. So, see you all on December 1st. And until then, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, have a happy Thanksgiving. Bye now.